Welcome to another live stream out here on the Homestead. I'm your Justin host, and welcome to My Wildlife. We're going to start this stream off by taking care of the 4 little piggies. So, we need to go and give them some food, top up their water, and just socialize and visit with the pigs. Spend some time with them, see how they're doing. They are coming running already. There's so many chickens in with the pigs right now. Look at this. The pig's right there. There's one of them. I'm seeing chickens in the fenced area. They're probably just loving all the scraps at the... Hey guys! TH Outdoors, how you doing? We are just kicking this stream off. You're the first one to say hello. And Darlene, how you doing? We are just going to be getting some food and water for the pigs. So I just got a fresh tote there, but I had a lot of surplus. The skid steer with my forks extended like this had a hard time picking up the whole tote. It's about 2,300 pounds. And so I had to take about a quarter of it off, dumped it behind it, and then I was able to lift it. I think if eventually I get forks that are further back, we'll be able to put that load further back. The problem is with the forks way out there, with the way out there, it was wanting to roll forward. And so I could lift it, but then it would want to just like roll over. So we'll get that sorted. Miller, how you doing, buddy? Here's the piggies. We are just gonna go grab the garden hose. My wife is brilliant, guys. You know, I love my wife, but I had been using the skid steer and picking this up every time and driving it over to the hose and filling it that way. I have so much hose line around the house. She just strung a few together and easy peasy, you just fill it that way. I can't believe I didn't think of that. So shout out to my wild wife for being the smartest woman I know and making my life a lot easier, making her life a lot easier. I find on the homestead, sometimes you can get caught in a dangerous trap of doing things the hard way for too long. And so sometimes you find a way that works to get a job done and you do it. Hi chickens, got some chickens hanging out over here. And so you'll do it the hard way over and over and over again. When there's no need to do it that way, you can quite simply find a better way. And my wife found the better way here. Boggy, how you doing? Where are we from? We are in northern Canada. And well, let me show you what we're about to do. We're about to give some water over to the piggies because it is a smoke show right now. It is so hot out here. It's been, you know, 30, 32, 33 degrees Celsius. So what's that, guys? 80, high 80s, 88, somewhere in there. It's been smoking hot. The pigs need, I mean, they made lots of mud. There was a thunderstorm through here that we were on tornado watch for a little bit. So I wasn't too worried about them. I keep my pigs in the forest, right? So I got this big area in the forest. And Miller, I appreciate you. Thanks for saying you like watching. I keep the pigs in the forest. I gotta watch my electric fence doesn't zap me. You guys still have quite a bit of water in here actually, but let's give it some more. Let's just try to hold the hose in there so we can do other stuff. Okay. We'll let that do its thing. But what I was saying is, the pigs, I keep them in the forest because even on these super hot days, it gives them so much shelter. They've got areas to roam around, make mud. I don't have to worry about them chewing up the fields. It's just a win-win-win-win-win. But we got to go grab a 20-liter pail because we're going to give them some food. We're topping up their water. They're already having a drink. They're excited to say hi. But we need to get a pail, which I should have grabbed. There's one right there. So we're going to walk over here and we're going to take care of this. Oh, you can see how hot it is. You can see the sun just glistening off my forehead. But Boggy says, hey, dollar available in Canada. What do you mean, hey dollar? What do you mean by a hey dollar, brother? We're just out here enjoying that sun, enjoying that field. Trying to take it a little bit easy, but get stuff done. Okay, we got a pail. We're gonna shovel a couple pailfuls of feed for the pigs. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. It's a beautiful day out here. We got the lake behind us. It's really hard to complain right now. It's lovely. And the pigs, man, the pigs are so adorable. Look at them. They see me walking and they want to just walk wherever I'm going. I'm gonna get you guys some food. It's feeding time. Rohan says, today is my birthday. Kindly wish me. I am your biggest fan. Rohan Azim. Happy birthday to you, friend. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope you had a good one. I hope everything's going smooth. We are just going to take this tarp off here and shovel some of this feed. Some of it got wet. Like I was saying earlier, I had to throw some of this food out of the bin. Not bad, actually. But I had to take this food out of the bin because it was too heavy. So we got to shovel some of it back into the bin. But we'll give the pigs the stuff that got a little wet. The pigs like eating wet food as long as it's fresh and not moldy. It's easier for them to swallow her back. So let's just quickly shovel some of this in here. Let me grab the shovel. It's just on the other side of the camera. Leaning against the tractor, or against the skid steer, I should say. Whew. And meanwhile, we're just refilling their water. And Rohan says, which country are you from? We are in northern Canada. Welcome to Canada, buddy. Okay, gonna shovel some of this into this pail for the pigs. Make sure to get any of the wet stuff, because that we don't want to put back in the tote. Surprisingly, we were on tornado watch today. We had a wicked storm come through here. Well, Homestead seems like it barely got touched, so it must have went right around my place. I was at work today, so I wasn't here to witness, but I was hoping everyone would be good, and they are. Oh, we're gonna have to put a little bit of work in here to shovel some of this back into the bag though, because we don't want to risk it getting soiled. Joe says, where's your cowboy hat and beard? I'm looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna grow it back though. I don't know. Normally I am wearing a cowboy hat. It is smoking hot, but right now with the cowboy hat, my head feels so small because I used to, for those who are just joining, I had a big beard, had it for like 8 years, just shaved it off this past week. And now when I wear the cowboy hat, my head feels small. So I need to get used to it before I put the cowboy hat back on. And Canada used the US dollar. No, we use the Canadian dollar. We have our own dollar. It's weaker. It's not as strong. It doesn't stretch as far. Here, pigs. Let's give the pigs some food, guys. Come here, pigs. I'm gonna give them another bucket. They're a 2-bucket kind of pig. And Manish says, can you get me a visa for America? Dude, I don't even have a visa for America. We're in Canada. Get your country right. And Razim says, please wish me long. I wish you long. I wish you hard. I wish you good. I wish you fair. And Breezy says, it's one of the commercial guys. What do you mean by commercial guys? What's a commercial guy? Rohan, I sang you happy birthday, brother. Did you miss it? I was wishing you happy birthday already, buddy. So anyway, we're just, that voice, yo. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Breezy? What's going on? You ready for the weekend? We're just out here putting in a little bit of work for the pigs. We're gonna walk back over to the pigs. Mrs. Army, welcome back to the chat. What made you guys want to have a farm? Honestly, a big part of it was COVID. Before COVID, we lived in a city. We weren't doing this, but so my wife and I, our first property, I'll get the pigs in the background for you guys. My wife and I, our first property, and Ricky, I'll get to you in a second. Our first property, we had a bunch of acreage, but no water. Now, as you guys can see, I have a lake. Our second house lived in a city with no acreage, but on a lake. And the reason we did that was we have little kids. We've got 5 sons under 10 years old. And we wanted to be in town, close to the library, the pool, the activities, school, that kind of stuff. And then COVID happened, and for like 2 years, they shut all of that down. And so at that point, we're like, why are we in the city? Why not look for something that has water and property? And from there, fast forward, and here we are. We've got pigs, cows, goats, rabbits, ducks, chickens, looking at getting donkeys, all sorts of fun stuff. And so we're just enjoying it. I mean, it was just the whole world shifted, the whole culture shifted. There was some food insecurity. Going to the grocery store and where we live we live pretty far up north in Canada, just not having a lot of food available. I was like, let's just take care of ourselves so that can't happen again. Ricky asks, are there natural predators in that area? So one of the really cool things is that this property is a peninsula. So the water, this lake, goes all the way around my property, goes all the way around. And because of that, in the winter, I have to worry about wolves and coyotes because they'll come across the lake onto the property. The bears aren't usually a problem. They don't want to come on the ice. They don't want to come across the lake. But I do have to worry about that in the winter. As long as I make sure I make some noise, shoot off some guns, scare away the coyotes and wolves at the end of winter, they take off the property, they go back on the lake, and they go somewhere else. So they're not a problem. In the fall, the bears can come from the north down. But again, as long as I'm making lots of noise, the dog's out, not usually a problem. A little bit last year, but you know, you just don't keep any garbage around. Don't give them a reason. Bears do like bacon, and so you do want to keep the bears away. Otherwise, the pigs here are pretty indestructible. Avery, how you doing, Avery? I appreciate you. Welcome back to the chat. And JJ says, can I send you a happy birthday to your Uncle Ash, who passed away on 9/11? JJ, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Happy birthday, I guess. Song Jones says, hey, Caucasian man. Yes, I'm pretty tanned. I got a farmer's tan, though. Look at that farmer's tan. Sir Reginald says, 9/11, that reminds me of that national tragedy when that's exactly what he's talking about. Georgia says, so do I like bacon. Here's 4 sets of bacon right here. Avery says, can you boop one of the pigs for me? A little boop. I can try. Let me give him some more food. Here, guys. Here, come into the pail. Avery needs a boop. Boop. I don't know if you saw it. I did get it. I got the boop. Here, big guy. Oh. Here, I'll give you one more over here so you guys don't have to crowd. There. In case you missed it, Avery, one more. Boop. There we go. Oh, I don't even know if I want to put this back. We're gonna get the stuff that's on the ground back in. But so, like I was saying, I got my skid steer here. This is my baby, my pride and my joy. Speaking of pride and joy, we gotta see if we're overfilling this water. This water's gotta be getting close to full. Anyway, you could see with the forks way out here, this 2,000-pound bag of feed was just too heavy. And so I was tipping forward. So I had to dump some out so that I could lift this. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna shovel that back in or just keep using the tarp. The tarp seems like the easy solution, but I wanna get the stuff that's on the ground off the ground. Oh boy, we're not quite full yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close. Keep that going for a little bit longer. Get that all the way up there. And Sir Reginald says, you could hear their bodies hitting the ground. Yeah, that's all very tragic. Let's try to keep this a little more wholesome, a little less dark, guys. Let's stay away from that tragedy. And what else is going on, guys? We're just enjoying the day. Maybe while I got the hose out here. It's not gonna reach the skid steer just quite here. I could drive it over. Maybe I should wash down the tracks here. That's what we're gonna do. Let's go for a little drive. Let's hop in this guy and drive it over towards the hose so that we can wash the tracks down, since we got the hose here anyway. Oh, there's a puddle on the floor from the storm earlier today, right between my legs. It's not deep enough though to get the feet wet. So bear with me. We're gonna start this guy and we're gonna drive it over. And Georgia says, are you milking a goat tonight? I absolutely have to milk 2 goats tonight. We're just going to quickly drive this. Up here. Little frog. That's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna drive it right here because we just want to wash the tracks while we have the hose right here. Ugh. Okay, there she goes, there she is. Let's flip you guys back around. You're on the tripod. Let's hose down these tracks. Okay, that's, oh boy, we almost sprayed you guys. Let's try to see what's, there we go. Just blast the dirt and mud out of the tracks here. Gotta keep her clean. Give her a little car wash. Oh boy, stay over here. Look at the pigs. The pigs are coming to say hi. They want their water. They're happy that it's fresh. Fresh and full. Hi, pigs. Let me close up this lid. Get the mosquitoes out. So yeah, anyway. And Matthew, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, Matthew? And Sir Reginald, don't worry, man. I hear you. I hear you. You're just trying to continue the conversation. But, you know, let's talk about better and brighter subjects. It's all good, my man. I appreciate you either way. Oh, just hosing down the machine while we're hanging out with the pigs. Okay. Milano, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Pigs are just running away right now. We're just quickly hosing down the machine while we got it pulled out here. Get some of this dirt and mud out of the tracks. Oh boy, get right in there. Dirt, mud, and manure. Get that all cleaned up. So yeah, anyway. And Milano says, fine, and you, how's your health? You know what? Right now I'm kind of just stuck waiting. I see a surgeon on Monday, and until I see the surgeon, I really don't have much updates. I'm still hobbling around, my legs sore, my back's still sore. I feel like I'm getting used to walking on a sleeping leg. For those who don't know, my back pinched and it cut off feeling to my right leg. I've got feeling above the knee back, but below the knee is still pretty dead feeling, but I'm getting better at walking. I'm not gonna lie, I got prescribed some nerve blockers to help with the discomfort. I did take one pill, half my dose, just so that I could do some of this basic work without feeling too uncomfortable. And so if I'm a little bit cheerier than normal, it's just because the medicine's doing what it needs to do, my friends. Where am I from? We are in northern Canada. We're just hosing down our machine, getting all this mud and clay and stuff out of here while we got the garden hose out. Come on, come on. I feel like that piece has to come out. There we go. So yeah, just kind of clean her up a bit. And then we'll go visit some of the other animals. We do need to milk a goat, and we'll probably do that sooner rather than later. We gotta do 2 goats. Okay, that feels good enough for now. Good enough for now. The machine is looking good. And Milano says, I wish you treatment and success. Thank you. And Sir Reginald says, hey, Hazma, we were just discussing 9/11. Let's not discuss 9/11. Let's enjoy better things. Happier conversations, not conversations of death and destruction. Matthew says, you need a pressure washer. Yeah. And Derico says, you get the belt changed on the mower? Derico, I'm mad at you right now. I was at Canadian Tire today, and I was thinking about what did I need at Canadian Tire? What did I need to buy at Canadian Tire? And I couldn't remember, and I was like, oh, you know what? I needed some files for my chainsaw so I can sharpen my chainsaw. So I went and got the files. That's not what I needed. I needed a belt. We ain't cutting the grass this weekend, I guess. Derico, I should have had this live stream this morning. We should have had this conversation this morning when I was going to town. Town is far too far away. Yes, and I got to buy 2 belts next time. I can still use the lawnmower because it wasn't a drive belt. It was just the cutter belt. So like I can still drive it, you know, use it to scoop up stuff, use it around the farm. But yeah, my bad. Next time I go to town, we'll remember. Let's check. I think we probably got to top up these guys' food and water. Let's look at the baby ducks. And yeah, King, sorry man, I do not speak Arabic. We are English only here. Je parle petit français with my friend Matthew, but that's about it. Hi, ducks. How you guys doing? How are you guys? You know what? I was so confused, guys. So during the day, I leave this door open so that there's some airflow for them. But I found some like poop in here, and I was like, what got up here and left some poop? Well, duh, I came in here and I saw there was a bunch of chickens in here. There was a bunch of chickens hanging out with the ducks. So that made a whole lot more sense. Their water is still full and their food is still really good. So I don't think we need to do anything for these guys right now. I do need to change out their bedding here soon. Their bedding is looking a little bit rough. Just looking behind me here. I don't think I have any wood shavings behind me, so I'll have to get some straw for them. But these guys are looking good. They're looking fine. Let's leave the Ancona ducks. Their feathers are going to start coming in soon. They're looking like they're getting pretty big. We'll leave these guys be. Oh, I filled their water. I filled their water and food this morning, and it's all still good. But it's always good to check it multiple times a day, and just to check on them, make sure everyone's doing okay. Yeah, not much else to add there. Actually, you know what I didn't do this morning? We do have to do one thing. I didn't add a niacin pill to their water, and so they need supplements. We are in Canada, Alejandro. Welcome to Northern Canada. But I forgot to add niacin to their water this morning. So niacin, I think it's just vitamin B. Someone correct me. My wife is the expert. But it helps prevent deficiencies. And so, yeah, basically you take one of these, you open it up, and you pour it into their water, let it dissolve into their water. And I totally forgot to do that this morning. So I'm glad we're having this conversation. We're going to take care of that quick for these duckies. And you are from Argentina, Alejandro from Argentina. Thank you for joining us up here in Northern Canada. Let's show you guys the baby ducks again while we take care of their water. Oh, I'm glad we are having this conversation because I forgot to give them their pill. My wife would not be happy if they're her little duckling babies. These are my wife's spirit animal. I'm a goat guy. My goats are my friends. She is a duck lady. She loves the ducks. But it would not be good if I let anything happen to her babies. So let me just open up this pill. So when you take a pill like this, you actually just open it up and dump it into the water. For these guys, I think they only need the one. We'll just dump that in the water as a little supplement. And we'll just take that little vitamin casing and throw it away. Whew. And we'll just top that up. We'll give it a little stir. And we'll take the lid back off of the casing. There we go. They should be very good. We're back in business, baby. We're back in business, little duckies. Avery says, hit that like button and subscribe to make Justin feel better. And Ram says, watching from Nepal. Hello, buddy. Welcome to Northern Canada. Oh, okay. We are done with these guys. Let's go see everyone else. You guys are good for now. You guys are good. We gotta, well, put your heat lamp back down, although I don't think you really need it because it is a smoke show out here today, but yeah, no, we don't want them to be cold. Hey, ducks, bigger ducks. Oh, we just saw the baby ducks and we came out and surprise. Hey, guys. They're about to go swimming in the kiddie pool. You know what? Their kiddie pool's looking a little gross. Let's refresh it with some fresh water. We got to go all the way back and get that hose and bring it back over here. Let's do that. I think this water is it's getting low. We can fill that at the same time. Let's take a little walk. I haven't seen the goats or cow yet. They must be in the far end of the field and they just don't know I'm home yet. Let's summon them. Let's summon them. Come here, goats. Mimi. Oreo. Faye. Come here, goats. Come on, goaty, 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 goaty. Come on, guys. Where's Bast? Come on, guys. I hear them. They're coming. Come here, guys. goats. Look at them run. They're going to stampede towards me. Come on, guys. Come say hi. Hello, everyone. Oh, did you not know I was home? Hi, everyone. Come here, goaties. Come say hi to me, but don't run me over. This is looking scary. I'm feeling like Simba during the stampede. Come on, guys. Orion, don't run me over. Don't charge me. Hey, buddy. Hi, Elsa. Hello, everyone. The Horde. Welcome back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We did the head count. Everyone's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hello. Hi. Everyone comes running to say hello. We are surrounded. Hi, Faye. Hello. Oh, hi. You wanted to say hi? Oh. Michigan Gundog Outdoor says, when's Canada gonna put out that fire? You know what? Actually, where I am right now is one of the first days where it's not too smoky. We got some blue sky out there. You know, it's because we're like 90% forest up here, it is really hard to put out fires. When we get a big fire, it is really hard to put them out. So I apologize if we're smoking you out down there. Oh, yes. White Widow said, what do you do for work, brother? I currently manage a business. I manage a company, and so the homestead is for pleasure. This is my passion and pleasure, but yeah, I love my job too, but this is a lot of fun. And yes, the goats, Maple's trying to do a little parkour over there. That's their water. What they're doing right there is that's an automatic water, so it's tied to my well. It automatically refills, and so that's why the one goat is looking like a goofball, because she's a little too small to just drink out of it. So she climbs up. And Lawrence says, the greatest of all times, the goats. Michigan says, we've been smoked out for like 40 days. I know we normally are, but we had some tornado warnings up here. We had some high level winds, and I think it just pushed all that smoke away. So we are good again. And the goats, they're just like dogs, guys. They are fantastic. Little Maple here is half fainter goat, and so she is super skittish. I have tried to catch her a few times, but she is hard to catch. You got to trick her. You got to trick her with some food. Elsa is on top of her mom, just chilling. And Lawrence says, do they do tricks? Elsa is a little parkour goat. She will run across and run against this wall, jump up, and like flip around. Or she'll jump onto that propane tank, Yeah, they're creative. They like running and jumping against trees. Little parkour goats. And Michigan says, you didn't start it, so you don't have to apologize. And White Widow says, he might have. You never know. No, hey, Gabby, what's happening, girl? You are covered in flies right now. Why? I sprayed your legs yesterday. Your legs are looking good. Just your body. Hi, Gabby. I think Gabby thought we had some treats, but she was gonna shove all the goats away, but I didn't give any treats yet. Gabby, treats are coming. Ooh, did you guys see that? She like threw the water at the flies to get them off of her. That was a pro cow move right there. That was a pro move. So yeah, anyway, welcome to my homestead. For everyone who's just joining, we live stream all the time, guys. And if you guys want to chat, you want to hang out, feel free to subscribe. I think we're sitting at around 1,700 subscribers. We have a lot of awesome people like Derico out here who are return viewers. And I always love chatting with you guys. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, any plans for the weekend, I'm here to hear it. We're just having a good old social time. There is nothing to complain about here. I know that Gabby left a pretty big steamer in the barn, so we got to muck that out. We are on barn duty. I have a wife and 5 sons, but they are out of town right now, so I am on the homestead by myself. Any horses, Lawrence? No, I do not. We were offered some horses, but we are on year 2 of having this homestead, and everything I've built here has been built from scratch. There was nothing on this property except for the house and garage, but like, you know, the wattle-in duck house, this barn, as rough as it looks, It's rough because I cut it off of another property and reassembled it here and built off of it, and everything's from scratch. And so this year has been really focused on infrastructure. All these gates and fencing and all these fields, like all the fencing. I've been working on that pretty well nonstop. And so until I'm fully established, horses just aren't in the cards. We're thinking next year maybe donkeys. We're thinking about getting a donkey. We'll start with one maybe next year, and then adding to that. You just saw Gabby. She's my cow. She's pregnant right now. We've had a couple cows over the years, over the last couple of years, but we're getting 2 more in the fall. The other ones became freezer food. The way we kind of do it with the cows is we want to keep, for breeding, we want to keep the ones with the best temperament. If you get any that are aggressive or just a little too wild, a little too rowdy, you eat them. And pigs, I have 4 pigs right now. So the pigs are seasonal pigs. They are going to be butchered in the fall. But the pigs were a trial. I got to go back over there. So I'm going to show you the pigs. I got to go back over there to grab the hose for the ducks. So let's take you back over to the pigs and say hi to them, and I'll talk about them a little bit. So one of the things I was doing, again, I didn't want to bite off more than I can chew. And so we are up here in northern Canada, and everything is really hard in the winter. In the winter, our coldest temperatures get to like minus 49 Fahrenheit, like ridiculously cold. And so every animal is so hard in the winter. Even the heated water dishes freeze solid. So every day, multiple times a day, you're running fresh hot water out here. You know, you got to keep all the snow away from all their feeding dishes. Everything just gets so hard in the winter. And so I didn't want to commit to another year-round animal, i.e. pigs, unless I knew if I was going to like them. And so my goal with the pigs here is I wanted to put them in the forest, because you can't have pigs in your pasture. If I put the pigs out there, they would destroy it. I'm going to show you. This section of land right here was all forest, and you're going to see what it looks like now. And so they will do this to the entire field, the entire pasture. You can see the contrast between the lawn and the forest just by this electric wire. So I didn't want to have an animal that was going to be, you know, too hard to take on. If I didn't like them, if it was too hard to keep them in the electric fence, if they were causing problems. And so we got seasonal pigs. This way, there's some chickens hiding in here. Hi, chickens. Anyway, we're going to show you the pigs. This is Canada. Yes, we are in northern Canada, the far north. But we're going to walk around here to the piggies. I put some food out for them earlier, so they're just hanging out in the forest by their food. I think they're done. Oh, they're still snacking. They're still snacking. So here they are. Hey, guys. Hi, guys. Oh, hi. How you guys doing? Hi, piggies. Oh, hello. And so here are the pigs. And so, yeah, unfortunately, these guys are going to become freezer food. They're going to turn into bacon. But I wanted to see if I could do it. I wanted to see if I'd like doing it. I wanted to figure out the best way to do it. And so next year, I will probably get year-round pigs. So these are Yorkshires. I'll flip you around so you can see me while I talk. These guys here are Yorkshires. These are your traditional Wilbur, your traditional bacon at a grocery store. Yorkshires. They are bred to have a lower fat content and get really big really fast. I'd put these guys at about 160 pounds right now. And at full size, we're talking 230. And so, yeah, we got a couple more months to get them up to that weight. Raising them myself, these guys are gonna end up being about, you're looking at about $2 a pound. So about half the rate of grocery stores. But yeah, they're good animals. So, but these guys, unfortunately, these pigs cannot survive the winters up here. You can see they don't have much hair. They're basically meat sacks. And so our cold winters are too cold for them. These guys are good to around minus 10 Celsius. So what's that? Like minus what? What's that in Fahrenheit? Minus 10 Celsius is around minus 5 Fahrenheit. But beyond that, they're not good for the winter. And it gets to minus 49 Fahrenheit here. And so we got to butcher them before the winter. We live off-grid here. So this homestead, I'm on the lake, but I'm off-grid. And so trying to keep these guys warm throughout the winter, I don't know if I want to be putting a wood stove in the barn. So we're going to butcher these guys and eat them for the winter. But because I did like doing this has been a fun process. It was a rough start. It took me about 10 days of working every single day with them to train them to the electric fence. It was hard, but apparently Yorkshires are hard to train to an electric fence. I didn't know that. So anyway, once I got that figured out and I got that sorted, life became a lot easier with them. And I really like them, got to bond with them really well. They're a great addition to the homestead. So for next year, I want to do year rounds. So these are Yorkshires. Next year, I'm looking at doing Berkshires and then breeding them. So I want to do 2 sows and 1 hog, and then I can breed them. So that is the plan. And Wasim says, bro, where is your beard? For those who don't know, I had a beard for 9 years. And you could see showing a stubble because I shaved yesterday, but I had a beard for 9 years and I had a bit of a midlife crisis and I shaved it off. And so, yeah, this is the face underneath that beard. As one of my subscribers put it best, before I shaved, I looked like I would survive the apocalypse. After shaving, I look like I can file their taxes. I thought that was a pretty good burn. I thought that was pretty good. So, Mrs. Army says, who does the butchering? So I'm going to gift one of these cows. I'm going to gift one of these pigs to my parents. I'm going to gift one of them to my in-laws. So those ones I'm going to send to the closest butcher, the closest abattoir, and I'll have him process them. Getting a phone call. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. The other 2 I will butcher myself. So 2 of them, I'll have butchered. 2 of them, I will butcher myself. There's one, I'm back, sorry. There's one caveat to this plan. So I plan to butcher 2 myself and have 2 of them butchered. The only caveat to that is, good. Thanks for confirming, Avery. The only caveat is that I have a bad back right now. And on Monday, I got to go talk to some surgeons and see what we got to do about that. And so if I end up needing back surgery, it all depends how long that puts me out for. So if that puts me out for a good 6 weeks, I don't know if I'll be butchering these guys myself or not. So we'll see if we end up sending them all to the butcher. My goal is to do 2 of them myself. I like to be really hands-on on the homestead here. I think that by doing the full process, birthing animals, raising them, you know, if you're going to be a meat eater, it's one thing to be a hunter. I grew up a hunter. But I feel like if I'm going to raise these animals, I got to have it in me to do my own processing and butchering. So I breed all the animals, I butcher all the animals, we take care of all the animals. It's just part of taking responsibility for your own food. It's really good. You learn a lot of skills. And yeah, it's just good to be responsible for what you're eating. That being said, you also have to take care of your own health. So if I'm not healthy enough by the time this comes around, I'm not going to let them suffer by waiting. I can't let these guys get to that -10. And so that basically puts my timeline end of October up here in Northern Canada. Come November, we can get those -10, -20 degree nights. So that really kind of limits my timeline. So after Monday, when I talk to the surgeon, I'll have a better idea of what we're doing with the piggies. Anyone have any questions about that? Does that make sense? Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on with these guys. But they are growing healthy. They're growing happy and fine. They're looking really good. They got lots of food here right now. I gotta take this branch off of this electric wire. Yeah, everyone's doing really well. Just a big hog. Have you ever butchered a pig or a hog? I have not. So I have done goats. I have done my own deer. I do a lot of deer because I'm a deer hunter, and so I have done a lot of deer. But I haven't done my own pigs. But nothing is really that hard. Once you start butchering some live game yourself, or big game, I should say, some larger animals, you realize that everything is relatively straightforward. There's tons of awesome tutorials, awesome guides. I've got some awesome butchering books just to show you what the different cuts are. But basically, when you go through and you butcher an animal, you're just separating the meat from the connective tissue. So as long as you do it in a clean and sterile environment, and that's why you want to wait till the fall when basically it's cold enough that there's no bugs, it's all pretty straightforward and pretty rewarding. So yeah, I'll have to freshen up before I do it, but otherwise, yeah, not too bad. Peter, how you doing, buddy? And TH says, today we got the rabbit colony cage. You said next week you get rabbits? Is that what's happening outdoors? So, speaking of rabbits, TH, we are going to go over to, let's go over to Simba and Fluffy, and we want to change out their water, and we want to top up their food. So about a month or a month and a half. Nice, so you're getting ready ahead of time. That's good. Amelia, oh, I lost that one. Was that one inappropriate there, Matthew? Mrs. Army says, thank you for sharing. Your journey is very encouraging. Mrs. Army, I appreciate you. Look at the chicken. Look at the chicken. You are supposed to be way over there by those chickens, but that's okay. You want to come pick at the hog food. You found your own little feed source over here. And Peter says, fishy sounds good. The lake is looking nice, isn't it? The lake is looking nice. I mean, you know what, Peter? Let's go to the garage for a second. We're going to bring this water down that way, but maybe we will do a little bit of fishing before the bugs come out here. We'll cast a few lines off the dock. It's been a little while. We're not going to go out on the lake, but we can cast a couple lines and see if we catch anything. Hey, chicken. We got to bring this water hose back over, though. We still got work to do. Can't all be play. Rita, how are you doing, Rita? Milano says, my lion head rabbit gave birth to 4 puppies 3 days ago. You mean 4 kits? 4 kits? Up here we call them kits, not puppies. We have some babies as well. Our New Zealand giant gave us some babies the other day. And don't worry, I know what you meant. Dude, earlier I called my pigs a cow, so like, the Freudian slips are real. Hey guys. We're just coming over towards the ducks here. We're dragging the hose over. So we want to add some water, change out the water to their pool here, top up their water dish. So let's just drag this hose here and leave it here for a second. Get ourselves ready. Peter says, when was the last time you ran your boat? It's probably been about 2 weeks since I hurt my back. Haven't gone for a boat ride since I hurt my back. Hi guys. You guys are all good in here? We need to go get rabbit food. We got to do a little bit of work before we can play. We got to do a little bit of work here. Because this rabbit's fine, but she flipped her food dish over. So we got to grab our food container and refill it. Oh, wait. I added a second food dish in there. She's probably fine. I forgot about that. I put a second food dish in there. Hi, guys. Mimi wants to be milked. Her udders are quite full because I didn't milk her this morning. She wants to be milked. There's just so much to do, guys. And that duck water makes good fertilizer. Yes, Darlene. I saw a couple videos there. So people were sending me some videos showing me that the duck water in the pools is really good fertilizer. It's got the right amount of nitrogen, potassium, and all that fun stuff being recycled from the goats. That being said, right now, I don't really think I want to try to harvest it and drag it all the way over there. Right now, with my health not being so great, it's just easier to dump it. But for those who, I'll show you in a bit, but for those who didn't know that, if you put a pool out for your ducks, you can save that water. We just need to grab this guy here because we want to give these guys some fresh food. So let's just put this here. And we're just going to fill this up. Guys, come on out. Come on out. Come on out. Come on, Mim. Okay. Everything is harder with one hand. There. That's empty, guys. That's empty, bud. I'm going to go fill it. I got to go put some rabbit feed in here. Oh, Faye, be nice. Be nice, Faye. Be nice. This one here got me in the ribs about 3 weeks ago. Left quite the bruise. It wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault. That was my fault. I was, what I do is about once every month or 2 months, I cut their toenails. And so I have a come along, a winch in the barn, and I use a harness and I hoist them up into the air, and yeah, makes it easier to trim. Hey, oh, I see a squirrel. I see a pesky squirrel. This guy's uncle or cousin or someone, a squirrel was hanging out over here and he bit me. I did unalive it, but I think this is a relative. Anyway, I digress. And Peter says, work not play makes a dull boy. Just kidding. I know, but there's so much work to do on a homestead. We got the rabbit feed right here. So we are gonna refill the rabbit feed container to make life easy. Instead of having to come in here every time, just take this portable container with me. So let's just open that one up. Grab the rabbit pellets. The rabbit pellets is basically alfalfa. The rabbits do really well on just grass as well, but right now, this is easier. Some high protein alfalfa, rabbit pellets. We don't need to fill this full to make it so heavy, but we can kind of half fill it here. Put that back in there and close up these lids. You see the squirrels are a pain in the butt. The squirrels will actually eat holes right into the containers to get some of this food. Pesky squirrels. And Freshly says, the more you know. Oh, I am sweating out here. And Peter says, have you ever seen a white albino squirrel? I have not. There it goes. There it goes. I have not. My dog loves playing with the squirrel though. She's eyeing him up. He's eyeing her up. I don't know if they're enemies or friends. I don't know. Vroom. I think if she gets a hold of him, though, it's not going to be a good time. Hey, Lily? Lily was a bad girl the last 2 days. She's on my naughty list. Oh yeah, you still got full food and water. You're good. You're good, Mama. Okay. Lily decided to chase cars out of my driveway for 2 days in a row and all the way out to the highway and getting picked up by strangers. So she's on my naughty list. Not today. She didn't do it today. Okay, excuse me, guys. I got to get in here and I don't want you out. I got rabbit feed and the cow loves rabbit feed, but it's not a treat for you guys right now. So let me past you guys. Let me walk. Everyone is crowding me. Oh. Okay, out of my way. Hey, Orion. Everyone, out of my way. Okay. Bear with me, guys. This is hard work. I don't want to get stomped by a cow. Okay. And Evie, stay. Okay. Little paracord, little clevis, and we're back. We're sweating. And how much a cow can safely eat alfalfa? I will use it as the odd treat for her. She loves it. Basically, alfalfa, when it's harvested, usually, at least in my experience, for a cow, there we go. So what Matthew is alluding to, alfalfa is a type of grass. It's a type of hay, and it creates a lot of gas in a cow's stomach. And so if a cow eats too much alfalfa, they will get bloating. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the videos of farmers having to use like a needle into the stomach of a cow and let all that air out. They will explode. They can die. So you can't give them too much alfalfa. Now, normally alfalfa comes in like 8-foot bales. Like they're like 2 feet, 2 feet, 8 feet. But it's really a bunch of slivers. It's a bunch of like 3-inch, 4-inch cakes all wedged together. One of those bricks is totally fine. 2 of them, totally fine. Start going more than that and you can start getting some bloating. If they eat the whole dang bale, your cow's not gonna like that. You're gonna need a vet appointment after that. So yeah, alfalfa it's an awesome treat. It's high in nutrients, but it creates bloating. And so you gotta be careful. How much hay versus alfalfa there? In my fields, it's all just kind of mixed hay. I don't have any alfalfa just growing in my fields. My field is adjacent to a cattle farmer's field, so basically my field just got the overseeding from his field. So yeah, it's just quality hay. No alfalfa in my field. I'll bring alfalfa in the fall. I usually order a bale or two because it's really good for deer hunting. So you can get a bale of alfalfa. I'll give it to the animals in those cubes, those squares. I'll break a chunk off, give it to the animals as a treat, and then I use the rest to bait in and draw in deer, and then I can hunt them. And Matthew says, and they can't fart it out. It's just too much bloating. You know, it's like if you go to grandma's and she made you a lasagna and you're having a good lasagna and you decide to have seconds and then she says, ah, boy, you're too skinny, eat, eat. And so you have thirds and then you have fourths and then you feel like you're going to explode. It's that, except they actually will explode. And MD Shakil says, this your farm? This farm Is this your farm? This is my homestead. So I've got a variety of farm animals, but it's a hobby. It's not a full-scale farm. And Wiselow Fableton says, if you can't fart, gas builds up until an internal blowout. Peter says, you ever have buffalo meat? I've had buffalo meat, but usually cut with pork. So I haven't had the raw or experience. I've had more the gimmicky like buffalo jerky or buffalo pepperettes, but it's always cut with other stuff. It's never the real deal. So we want to top these guys' food off. Their food is low, and I want to dump their water. Their water still got lots, but it's been a few days, and I don't want it to be too stagnant. So we're going to change these rabbits' food and water. So let's open the door. Hard to do with one hand, but let's open the door. Hello, rabbit. Hello, rabbit. Their food got a little wet, so we're going to actually dump their food. Oh, and give them some fresh food. Gabby! The cow loves this. So, Gabby, come here, Gab. Gabby, where'd you go? Come here, Gab. Oh, the goats want it. Again, a little bit is a good treat. Here, guys. Oh, boy, right on your head. Right on your head. Gabby! Gabby, where you at? I think my cow gave up on me. She knew I wasn't letting her in here. And Peter says, do you ever make your own beef jerky? All the time, man. I love making beef jerky. That is the primary use of our dehydrator, is making homemade jerky. And TH Outdoor says, do rabbits pee and poop in their food? They're usually pretty clean that way. They can. They can. We had one rabbit for a long time who was litter box trained. And so he would sometimes poop in his food dish because he was so used to hopping into a container to poop. Fun fact, guys, you can litter box train rabbits. That is a legitimate thing. Okay, we're just gonna dump the rest of the food out here for the goats. I thought my cow was gonna come get it, but she wanted nothing to do with that. So we're just gonna put this food dish down over here, and let's just throw a little bit of fresh straw in here because it's a little bit lacking over there. They must have taken some of this and moved it around. Okay. Grab some food and just top the food dish off. There you guys go. Oh. And I want to take their water and dump the excess because I want to swap it out with some fresh water. So let's try to grab this, not spill it. Oh boy, not spill it too much. And just dump this outside the door. Oh, right on the goat's head. Love it. We'll put this back. And we'll bring the water to it. This is Simba. This little guy here is Simba. He is part lion's head, and he's also considered a lop. So the way his ears are... Gabby, you found the alfalfa. You did it, girl. I was trying to summon you over so you could have a treat, girl. But yes, this guy is called a lop, L-O-P, because his ears are lopsided. And he's also got his little lion head. His little lion head. I would pick him up and show you guys him, but I'm allergic, so I don't like holding them because I break out in hives. They're my wife's baby, not mine. Hello, little man. Hello. And how much is the price per kilo of rabbit feed? I honestly don't know, but like You can do a little bit of math. I think they are around 20-pound bags. A 20-pound bag is like $16 Canadian. Does that make sense? Matthew says, I've learned about the alfalfa in Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. It's a series on Paramount, Netflix, and other media probably. And Gabby says, Bunny, I want it. Yes, he's a little stud. His name is Simba because he's got that lion's mane, that lion's head. My cow is making a ruckus. And TH Outdoor says, what part of the rabbit are you allergic to? It must be the dander. It must be like the you know, I can't hold them. I break out in hives. I can't hold them. My one son is way more allergic to me than me. My one son can't even come in here. When he comes in here, his eyes get red and his throat gets scratchy. So he's very allergic to them. I am okay inside the barn here. I will break out in a bit of a rash when I'm mucking the barn, like when I'm swapping out the straw. But just being in here, I feel okay. Let's get them some fresh water though. Okay, you big guy, you got to stay here while I get your water. You stay there. I'll go get you some water and I'll put you away. We got the automatic waterer here. It needs a scrub though. There's some algae buildup on the bottom. I need to clean that. But I just grabbed my little hand pump here. Just pull this back in the fence. So I just grab a little hand pump. We'll just give her a little squirt to clean it out. Oh boy, this is not a one-hand operation. Let's grab that hose. Just thread that in here. And then we just suck some of this out. And then we'll dump this. We'll actually dump that water. Dump that out, and we'll give it some fresh water now that we cleaned out the pail. Want to just make sure we're not picking up any mosquito larvae or anything crazy like that. Just stagnant water is no bueno. Okay, purge the hose. Good to go. And we'll just bring this pail of water into the barn and top their water up that way. And Gabby says, I had 3 bunnies. Lagomorphous. And Milano says, expensive in my country. If you can convert 50 kilos to dollars, it costs about $15. Hey. You. Out. Everything is harder with a tripod, guys. Okay. We didn't spill the water. We're good. Hey, you're gonna spill the water. Get out of here. That's not treats. That's just water. Is there anything that can keep your cow from bloating like the alfalfa? I mean, you just got to make sure that they have a balanced diet and you don't give them too much treats. If you give them too much grain, too much corn, or too much alfalfa, you're gonna be looking for trouble. But just let them eat what their diet is used to, just some normal hay. And you came back in on your own, so that's good. And let's drop that there. These rabbits are taken care of. And honestly, that much food and that much water is probably good for like 2 days. 2 days. I wouldn't go more than 2 days because I don't want the water to get mosquito larvae in it, but it's clean, fresh water, fresh food. They're good for a couple days. RH, that is what you have to do. You do have to do that stomach pierce thing, although I've never had an issue with it because my cows never abused the alfalfa. We've been lucky that way. But I mean, you could run into problems. If you notice they're really uncomfortable and not moving lots and they're really big, like really full, here she is here. She's happy and healthy. But if they're really bloated, like looking like a balloon, like they're about to burst, that stomach pierce thing is exactly what you have to do. Hi, Gabby. You got a fresh pile of turd there and one over there that I got to get out of here. But we'll wait till after the stream, I think, to muck that out. I don't think people are here to see the big cow. They're not here to see me shovel your poop. And RH said, that bunny had a mohawk? Yes. He's part lion head. It's a type of rabbit, and so he's got a rabbit head, a lion head. Sorry. And Matthew says, "Is it with horses that they can't eat grass, but it needs to be dry hay?" Some horses, yeah. Some horses are very particular, and you have to bring food into them. You can't just let them graze. There's some varieties of horses that are fine to graze. There's others, though, that have a very specific diet requirement. Hi, goats. Hey, what's up? What's up? I want to come over here and swap out the pool water for the ducks. Although I don't know where the ducks went. The ducks are MIA. Hi, chicken. But so this water, this is duck pool water. There's a little bit of duck fecal matter in there. Really good for your garden. But we're not saving it today. Not saving it today. We're just going to dump it and give them some fresh pool water. 2 pools because why not? Oh! And the other animals sometimes will take a drink out of it. And how should the rabbits' diet look like? So you want to give them, grass or hay. Alfalfa pellets are good for them, but you do need to mix in some grass and hay. Oh boy, that was on power mode. Sure, most of that's going in there. Timothy hay is popular for rabbits. Timothy hay. Here's the ducks. Here they are. Hey guys. I'm filling your pool back up, guys. So if you guys want to swim in some fresh water, that's what we're doing right now. And Gabby said, "Rooster, cuckoo." Yes, there's good old horntail right there. One of our roosters. There's a couple of them hiding around. They're kind of scattered out right now. Kind of all over the farm. They're a little bit everywhere. There's a bunch of them, I think, underneath here, and I think there's some hiding in behind. There's also some in with the pigs. So until we get a little closer to bedtime, they're kind of... Oh, there's some goats. I don't know. Do we have any hiding under here? I can't tell. I don't know. The chickens spread out. The ducks, they all stick together. The chickens kind of spread out a little bit everywhere. And they come back for bedtime. Peter says, "Can you mix alfalfa and hay? Is that not a good idea because it would still have the bloating?" You still just got to monitor how much alfalfa you give them. You absolutely can mix it, but you still need to control how much they get. Guys, why are all the chickens out hiding right now? Ducks, they're all good. Chickens, scattered everywhere. I hear one in the forest. The pigs are protecting them, so they'll be fine, but they really shouldn't go in the forest. That's how you get eaten. Anyway. Hey, Gabby. You coming back out to say hi? And Grangela Rosalia says 31 likes. Now we're at 32. Thank you for hitting that like button, guys. We're just having a good old farm hangout right now. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? We're just refilling the duck pools. Got the pools for the ducks. The cow's coming to say hi. Mimi really wants me to milk her. She's sitting here hanging out by me because she wants me to milk her. I did not milk her this morning, so she is due. And which came first, the chicken or the egg? The dinosaur. The dinosaur came first. Oh boy. There. That is noisy. That one's good. Hey, Mimi. We're gonna wait till that's done, and once that's done, we are actually going to milk this goat, and then if Faye wants to, if she's gonna let me, that one hiding back there needs to be milked as well. Hey, girl. Yes, I see you. I'm here. Hey, Maple. Hi, everyone. And Rosalia says, very nice. And Gabby says, the goats, me, the sheeps be. No sheep yet, no sheep yet. 18 says, do you use the goat's milk? Yes, we drink the goat's milk. We drink it, we turn it into cheese, we turn it into yogurt. Right now, I'm actually home alone. My wife and kids are out of town. And so it is too much milk for me to consume by myself. So normally, we'll milk the goats twice a day. But right now, while I'm by myself, it's just way too much milk. And yeah, even just milking the two goats once a day is too much milk. So I do have to make some yogurt. I would like to make some yogurt tomorrow morning. I think that's what I'll do is I'll make a batch of yogurt tomorrow morning. It'll be ready by lunchtime. And that's the plan. That's the plan. Yeah, the nice thing, so this goat here, she is a mini Nubian. So so is she, but she is a mini Nubian. She's a Nigerian dwarf crossed with Nubian goat. And her milk is super creamy. It's like, her milk is like a 5 to 7% cream. So drinking her milk is like drinking coffee creamer. Faye, who's hiding over there in the shade, she likes hanging out in the shade right now. Faye, she is an Alpine mixed with Toggenburg. And so her milk is more like a 0% fat. So her milk is much more watery and not as tasty to just drink on its own. And so usually I will turn her milk into cheese or yogurt. And Milano says, is goat milk filtered or is it okay to drink without filtering it? I run it through cheesecloth just in case I dropped any hairs into the milk. But it's, you know, you're supposed to pasteurize it if you're feeling saucy. For your own consumption, you don't have to. I don't bother. Pasteurizing it basically means bringing it to a certain temperature for a certain duration of time to kill off any extra bacteria. But we'd go through it so fast that I don't bother. And in the yogurt making and cheese making process, you end up pasteurizing it anyway, because to make cheese and yogurt, you need to warm up the milk. So yeah. But when I'm just drinking it as milk, I could basically just milk her and drink it straight from the cup. And Jill says, can you make ice cream from goat's milk? I am absolutely sure you can. Hers would be really good ice cream. I also want to make butter. Basically everything dairy, everything you can do with a cow's milk, you can do with goat's milk. And Chef Boy LC says, you look like the Miz. Who's Miz? Who's Miz? Who's the Miz? I did look like, I did look like Red Dead Redemption there for a long time. I had a beard that was just a big bushy beard. You can see the 5 o'clock shadow, but I had a big beard. I had a bit of a midlife crisis and I shaved it off just the other day, but I grew that beard for 8 years. I had not cleanly shaven for 8 or 9 years. And just the other day, for the first time, I recovered my chin. I needed to see if I still had a face. I wasn't sure if there was a face underneath all that hair. No, I was going through my little midlife crisis. Just had a little bit of health problems, was laid up in the hospital for a little bit, and the beard was getting so scraggly. And so I went to trim it, and it was just so out of control. I said, you know what? We're just going to start fresh. We're getting rid of it. Gone. And yeah, so there is a face underneath the beard. Hey, Evie. You're stepping on my toes, though. What are you doing? And Chef Boy says, I love the goats, though. And Gabby says, when I was a kid, every weekend, every holiday on our village, we had many animals. They're a lot of fun. The animals are a lot of fun. They can be little goofballs, but they're a lot of fun. And RH Sewell says, Gabby, is your caps locks broken? Gabby just wants to make sure I read her comments. She wants to stand out in the crowd. And yeah, if you don't, RH Sewell, to answer your question about can you store it in the fridge, you have to store it in the fridge. It's good for about 3 to 5 days. If you want it to last longer, then you got to pasteurize it. You can get about 7 to 10 days if you basically cook, if you cook the milk. So it'll last longer if you cook it. But, you know, because normally we go through it so fast, that just feels like extra work. So normally I don't. But yeah, we are definitely due to make some yogurt, maybe some cheese. That's going to be tomorrow's project, though. Tomorrow's project. During the morning, when I get up nice and early, do my animal chores, come back in, I will get started on making some yogurt. I think it's that time, guys. I'm gonna go start gathering supplies. We're gonna milk her. So if you guys want to see what it's like to milk a goat, she is easy. She is nice. Like, she's already walking. She hears me talking about it, and she's like, yeah, I'm coming. But not yet, Abby. Not yet. I'm not ready for you. I want to have all the supplies ready for you before I take you. So you got to wait. You can't come with me yet. Not yet, Gabby. Not yet. You just wait, and I'll call you when I'm ready for you. Hey, hey, hey. Don't open the door. You stay there. I'll come get you. I like to have everything ready. I don't want to have her waiting to be milked. Where's Lily? She's here, but she ran away on me twice. That little bugger. She followed vehicles down the highway. She was too friendly. She's under the house right now. I can see her. Let me put this down. I'll show you where she is. She's hiding under the house because it's nice and cool under there. So she is right there. There's the doggo. She's hiding. Do you see her? She's hiding. Hi, Lily. Yes, she doesn't want to get in trouble again. But to be honest, it wasn't like she got much trouble. When I picked her up off the highway, I just gave her a steak. So it's not like she got in trouble. She got a gourmet dinner out of that deal. You know, it's a fine line, right? You don't want to teach them that it's okay to misbehave, but you also want them to love you. And so, yeah, is that rewarding bad behavior? I don't know. I don't know. But we do have to get our milk supplies all topped up here and good so we can milk this goat. Oh, I got a lazy last night, guys. My wife is the rock star, not me. And so if my wife is home, there's never a dish left behind. Not so much with me. When I did my animal chores last night, I rinsed everything good, but I didn't give it all a good scrub. So I need to do some dishes here. Here, we'll put you this way for a second. I need to wash everything before I can milk this goat. My wife, she's got everything. Like, she's a rock star. Me, I fly by the seat of my pants sometimes. So let's just soap everything down and get this nice and clean before we get out there and do our thing. Let's get everything nice and soapy. And medium rare, please. I'll take a steak. I hear you, Derico. I'm probably going to have some leftover steak for dinner. If I could share with you, I would. I'm trying to eat up all the meat. The other day, I was going through the freezer, and I was seeing how much meat I had. So I'm trying to work through it. Tomorrow, I'm going to cook a whole chicken. So I think in the morning, it's going to be a busy morning. We're not going to do it on stream, but I think in the morning, I'm going to start baking a whole chicken and making a whole whack of yogurt. We're going to take pretty well all of the milk I have, and I'll show you in a second. I have a lot. And we're going to convert that all into yogurt. I think I'm going to do yogurt, not cheese. And Peter says, never reward bad behavior. It's no different if you or your wife were to do that with your boys. You don't reward your dog for bad behavior. I mean, as well, it's no different than doing that with your boys. I said, yeah, but I like when my wife rewards me with a steak if I'm misbehaved. So, you know, I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't ran away. I keep coming home. Okay, let's close that down and review these comments. And Matthew says, I'm pretty sure I'm the closest from you, Justin, to get that steak. Matthew, where are you again? Are you in Quebec? Where are you again? Southern Ontario? And David says, I eat my burgers. David, good for you. Good for you. You know, the first step to defeating a bad habit is to admit that you have a bad habit. So good on ya. Good on ya. Oh, it is hot out, guys. I'm sweating. And David says thanks. And Quinn says ew. And Gabby says the best yogurt is the Bulgarian Basilicus bulgaricus. Bulgaricus. Balicus bulgaricus. And David says, I sweat down there. Bruh. We call that swass. You got that swass going on? It's okay, Derico. I'm not offended by my man. He's just being a goofball. He's not, as far as I'm aware, you know, he's not crossing a line. He's just being a little a little bit of a goofball, probably a kid, probably a child. Oh. Let me show you my milk supply right now, guys. So this is before going out and milking the 2 goats. So the 2 goats will give me, this is like 1.5 liters. So I'll get like almost a gallon. I'll get almost a gallon off of these 2 goats. Faye is trouble. We got to do a little bit of something. I think we need to set the a feed container a little higher for her to keep her busy. When I leave Faye to her own devices, she starts pulling and trying to twist and turn. She's really hard to milk right now. Whereas Mimi is just a little angel. She just sits there and lets you milk her the whole time. But let me show you the milk supply. This is what we're dealing with. So this is going to convert to yogurt tomorrow. Look at my fridge. Oh boy. So I'm gonna cook up that tomorrow, whole chicken. But look at all this milk hiding back in here. That's a lot of milk, guys. I need to convert all that to yogurt tomorrow. And Quinn says, the pigs like milk. That is true. I did give the pigs some milk yesterday. So what I do is I usually milk Faye first because she doesn't fight me. Or sorry, wrong goat. I normally milk Mimi first. While we're here, we're going to get a drink of water because I'm sweating. I normally, you know what? I'll grab a glass of milk because that just sounds appropriate. I normally milk Mimi first because she doesn't give me any problems. Faye sometimes gets a little kicky and I don't want her to contaminate the milk. So if and when she does try to get a foot in the milk, oh boy, we just spilled some dirt on the floor. I went to raise the tripod and there's a plant above my head. When I do Faye, sometimes she kicks it, and if she contaminates it in any way, shape, or form, I just give it to the pigs. But we make sure we secure some quality milk first off of Mimi. So here's some goat's milk right here. And yeah, actually, you can see, because like I said, my wife is the delicate one, and I am a bit of a boar. I'm a bit of a hog, a pig myself, so I didn't put my stuff away. But yesterday when I was having milk, I had 2 glasses with some Nesquik. So we had some chocolate goat's milk. But yeah, this is goat's milk in the fridge. This is like from yesterday, so a day old. And this is from Mimi, so this is like straight up cream. This one is like 5 to 7% cream, so it's like drinking coffee creamer, but it's delicious. And Peter says, are you being a booger since the family is gone? Yes. And do you, Justin, get your water from a well? Yes, I do. My water all comes from my well. It's actually high in uranium, so I have to have a reverse osmosis system, just a series of filters to make the water safe to drink. And Derico says, I love yogurt. Will it have vanilla flavoring? I will probably mix in some blueberries, some raspberries, some honey. I could probably do a dash of artificial vanilla. Just basically anything to sweeten it up. Okay, rehydrated. We have our milking container. Just make sure that's dry, no water left behind. We need to grab a glass jar to transfer to. I gotta wash one because I need a wide mouth. It's gonna make it easier to pour it while I'm there. So I gotta wash the jar I was using yesterday. Bear with me, guys. I know it's not the most interesting thing, me doing dishes on the live stream, but it is what it is. When you want to have a long live stream, you kind of got to do the mundane tasks as well. Taz the Bulldog, welcome back. Hello there, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Welcome back to the live stream. We're about to go milk Mimi and Faye, but we're about to go milk the goats. I just tidying up some of the dishes, making sure that I am all ready for her, so that this is a smooth process. So, yes. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have a good weekend planned. And Jill says, rhubarb yogurt. I can actually, Jill. I have rhubarb in the fridge right now. So we absolutely could make rhubarb yogurt. It says that it is 6:28. It's actually slow. You're looking at it backwards. It's a couple minutes slow. But you're probably looking at it in reverse on the camera. So it says right now it's 6:28. 6:28, and my clock says 6:30, so it's a hair slow. And Peter says, did you have to have the well drilled or not? Is it all natural? So when I got this property, there was already the well there. I did have to replace all the water lines, and I had to replace about 7 feet of the well casing. But and then I replaced the well pump while I was at it. But I've got it's a 156 foot deep drilled well. Our property, so I've got about 16 feet of clay, and then the rest is granite. And because of all of that granite, Jill was paying attention. She saw the rhubarb yesterday. Jill, you're on the ball. You are on the ball. Is your hand stuck in that jar? You know, it was close. It was close. I wanted to give it a good scrub, so I did. I shoved my whole hand in the jar. That was questionable. Yeah, Derrico says you could do pottery with the clay. Yeah, I've thought about it. The south side of my property on the beach in the water is clay, and so when you get past the sandy beach, it's all clay bottom. I remember being a kid and making little cups and little stuff, and then kind of curing it by the fire. And David says, one more time, I eat. David eats boogers. I almost let you clip me on that. David, you're a little sneaker. You're a little sneaker. You're a little sneaky beaky. You know, I thought you were just telling me that you love eating boogers, but I didn't realize you were trying to screen grab me on that one. You little sneaky beaky. Darlene, he's trying to get me to say it so that then he can clip it and repost that. But you know, whatever. Did you get a clip the first time? Because the first time you said it, what did I say? Did I just say David eats boogers, or did I say it? You might have got me the first time. I don't know. Michelle, how you doing, Michelle? And Sean says David nearly got you. David, I'm not going to say it now that I know it's a trap. I'm not going to fall for the trap now that I know it's a trap. And yes, I know you can edit it. I can edit it. I probably did say it the first time. But you know, who cares? Whatever. There are far worse things to say, so I let that slide. Michelle says, what's going on at the homestead this evening? We are just about to go outside and milk a goat. Oh boy, what am I doing? I threw my drying cloth right in the sink. We're gonna go milk Mimi. We did the basic chores already. We topped up people's food and waters, but now we need to milk Mimi and Faye. And then once the sun starts setting a little more, we got to put the chickens and ducks away. Yeah, we're just having a good time. We gave the skid steer, the compact track loader, a little bit of a wash earlier as well. And Gabby says, Lactobacillis del. I'm just going to say whatever she said. Bulgaricus, the best yogurt in the world. Look it up in Google. Gabby, I will look it up in Google. I probably can't make that type of yogurt. I'm going to assume that type of yogurt requires a specific bacteria starter to make it. The best I can do is just make yogurt using the bacteria starters that I've got. And so I probably won't be able to make up that specific one, but I will look into it. Thank you for the tip. And Milano says XD. He's got that smiley face going on. Glass jar lid. That will be to make sure that Mimi's milk stays safe. We got this clean jar. The only thing we need to do is we need to top up our betadine. Because when we were trying to sterilize Faye yesterday, we were pretty well at the end of our ropes here. So let's just let's dump this, wash this. You know what, we'll bring it over to the sink. So this is betadine, but we're basically out. So we're gonna refresh it and clean this. This is the sterilizing agent that you use on the udders. And so you squeeze the tube, it goes in here, and then you rub that on the udders, but we gotta wash this and clean it up. So we'll just clean this up, give it a little spray here, take this top off. We're just gonna wash all of this. Making a mess. Got to make sure everything is clean and sterilized so that we have a proper and good milking operation going here. Try not to stain our cheesecloth with betadine. So yeah, just kind of cleaning things up so that we can get out there and milk this goat. But it's probably a good idea to start fresh here. Give that a little bit of a soap. And let's wash that lid better. Anyway, what else is everyone getting up to? Everyone have any big plans for the weekend? Anyone getting into any shenanigans, any trouble, any good things going on? Anyone proposing to their girlfriend this week? What are we doing? And our Russian friend says, hello, my name is Tatiana, and I am from Russia. My English is very bad. I am 78 years in Moscow. Well, hello, Tatiana. Do you clean with hot water? Yeah, this is my hot water. Yeah, soap and hot water. And then what I do for her udders. Okay, so we can put this back together. We're gonna go put betadine in this. But what I do is let's just set you guys. First, I use betadine on the udders, and then I have a bowl full of hot water and a soapy rag, and then I wipe the betadine off the udders. I squirt a little bit onto the ground from her udders just to get rid of any betadine contamination so it doesn't affect the flavor. And then, so here's some betadine here. And then it's time to milk her. So yeah, we just want to make sure that we don't have any contamination. So just going to, we don't need a lot of betadine in here at a time, but enough that we can scoop it up with the hose. So that is probably lots. That's probably good there. And then this is just going to go right on here. It's okay if it's a little soapy. It's literally for sterilizing. And yeah, then we just give it a squeeze. The betadine comes into here. And you just put that up on the udders, give it a few dabs, and you're good to go. So we got the betadine ready. We just need to, I want to swap my cloth, my cleaning cloth. So here's my little clean bucket, but we want to swap out this cloth because this cloth was damp and wet and sitting here. And let's get a fresh cloth. This is some homemade moisturizer, for the udders. Let's just get rid of this rag, dump this. Give this a little bit of a scrub while we're here. But this bowl is just for some clean hot water. So that's the whole point of this bowl, is just to have some clean hot water, soapy water. So let's just give that a quick clean, dump that. We'll fill it back up with hot water. Oh boy. Hot water, some dish soap, and we'll grab a fresh rag. And then we are ready to go milk. We are ready to go milk a goat. And do I plan to make soap? At some point, that is probably in our cards. The only thing with making soap is you need lye. And lye is a pretty, most people do it with lye. Lye can be a pretty dangerous chemical. And so you need a well-vented space. So I need to set up an area maybe in the shop, in the garage, in order to make soap safely. Okay, so we got this, we got the betadine, we got our bowl and our glass jar. I think we're going to, I don't want to make 2 trips, but it's so hard to juggle everything in a tripod at the same time. So we're just going to try it. If you guys hear some glass breaking, you know I was unsuccessful in my journey. But I think we're okay. Soapy water, betadine, Yarrow bomb, glass jar. I think we are ready for this milking operation. So if you guys want to see me milk a goat, that's what we're doing right now. You are here for it now. We do this every day. When my wife is home, we do it twice a day. When it's just me, I'm just doing it once a day. It's already too much milk for me to drink on my own. So, yeah. And Jericho says, you remind me of Fight Club. It reminds you. Tyler Durden made soap. First rule of Fight Club? You already broke it. let's just get all this stuff down and then we're gonna grab the goat. We'll start with Mimi because she's easy. She doesn't fight me. Faye, we gotta get a little more creative. I think for Faye, I need to give her some treats. And I built a little stand, but it's a little too low for them. So let's just set, this is the milking stand. That's the guillotine, the head trap, that vise. But there's a little ramp on the end of it. There's a little ramp right here. However, that was supposed to be to put a pail with food, but it's too low. And so I think we're gonna take a pail. We're gonna flip the pail upside down. We'll grab a shorter pail and put that pail on top of this pail with some treats in it. So let's go grab some treats. We got the shorter pail right here, nice and easy. And is this stream rated PG? I try to make it family friendly. I can't control though. I can't control all the shenanigans that go on. So, you know. If you're wondering if I have this specifically set to 4 kids, it is not. I do not have the stream set for kids, but I do know that people watch with their children, so we try to keep things wholesome. Okay. That should be plenty of grain for the goats. Let's sneak out of here. Oh boy. Let's go get Mimi. Mimi! Come on, Mimi. Time to milk you, girl. Here they all come running. We just want Mimi. Mimi's first. Oh boy. Okay. Faye, you're in the front of the line, but Mimi's the one we want. Mimi. Come on, Mimi. Not Faye, not you yet. Not yet. Not yet. Here, you guys can have some treats. But Mimi. The only one I want is Mimi. No. Hey. Oh boy. Arian, you dirty dog. Mimi, you stay. Oh boy. We can let we're gonna have to put because I'm using treats. Because I'm using treats, I'm gonna have to put her back. But let's. Okay, wait. 1 second, Mimi. We got to put her back. Because otherwise, she's going to make you want to fight. Okay, you, Evie. Evie's got to go back in. Oh, it is so hard to juggle goats, guys. No, Mimi, you stay. You stay. You guys are going to go right there for a second. Okay. Evie. Unfortunately, Evie likes hanging out with us when we milk. But Evie, Evie, right now you gotta go in there. Oh, that was more work than it needed to be. Okay, now let's find Mimi. Mimi, where'd you go? Did you go to the feed shed? Come here, Mimi. Some people's goats, I tell you. Hey, Mimi, right here. It's right here. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. Oh. This is probably the most rewarding animal chore and also the hardest. Okay, girl. I want you to show them how to jump. Teach the fine folks that you know how to get up here on your own. There you go. Hey. Except, I want your head. Hey, I want your head right here. There you go. Enjoy the guillotine. Okay, you just stay there and enjoy some treats. And we're gonna get this milking show on the road. It's time to milk a goat. So, this is a goat. Head in a bucket. Goat. Let's try to set you guys up so that I can see you. You can see this. So, udders. YouTube udders. So what we do first, and guys, this always looks kind of like blood, but this is betadine, so it's just a sterilizing solution. So I squeeze it, it comes in there, and we just give her a wabam, on both udders. And that's just a sterilizing solution. It's the same stuff they put on you when you have a cut, when you have a bad cut and you go to the hospital before they bandage you up. And so that's on there. And then what we do is we take, the treats is just a dairy ration. So it's like oats, molasses, grain, corn. And so we just take the soapy water and we just wipe that off. So we sterilize it, we wipe it off. Get some water there. Okay. Hands are clean, wash our hands. Okay. So everything is clean, a little bit soapy. We're just gonna squirt a little bit off. So we gotta give it a little start there and there, just in case there's any betadine on there. Let's just wipe off some of that excess soap. And then we want to use some moisturizer. So I've got this homemade Yarrow Balm, some homemade moisturizer, just to provide some comfort for her. But to be fair, when like the babies are eating, it is not a delicate or gentle process. So if they can tolerate the babies eating, they can tolerate me. But we still want to be nice. So yes, we have a goat, we have some udders. Our hands are now clean and moisturized. We grab our pail. And the flies are bugging her a little bit, so we need to just do our thing and make sure we don't get flies in it. So we're just going to squirt, squirt, squirt. And it's really that simple. So you just grab high, squeeze down, and close your hand, alternate sides. And so obviously easier if you're using two hands. No ego, welcome back to the chat, no ego. And so we're just kind of doing the thing. Obviously, everything is easier when you don't have a phone in your face, but yeah. And try not to miss the pail. And also make sure her feet don't go in the pail. If she tries to step into the pail, you're gonna ruin your whole batch of milk because we sterilized her udders. We did not sterilize her feet. Holy goats, what are you guys doing over there? You know she's getting treats. You guys are getting rowdy, you're jealous. And Jericho says, Lord have mercy. Don't let her get that foot in there. We're always on defense. And he says, Jericho says, that is a lot of milk. Yes. Yes, and our other goat gives way more milk, but her baby is still partially eating. So the other goat, we're milk sharing. So we don't get as much as we will. We get probably half as much. But yeah, her one udder is like doing both of hers. And so, yeah, I mean, this is a painless process for her. We're just doing the thing. She actually enjoys it because it provides relief. Because she doesn't have a baby eating off of her, you know, carrying around all that milk is uncomfortable. So she is more than a willing participant. She comes asking to get milked. Hey. And is it not iodine that they give you in the hospital? So betadine is an iodine mix. It's like 10% iodine. Dude, chill. And in the hospital that we have near here, they actually use betadine. I actually stole some from there. You know, it's not stealing if they give it to you, but you know what I mean. I got some from the hospital. Dude, chill, man. You're making this hard. You're getting way too close to the camera. I feel like they don't need to see your udders in 4K resolution. Why? Get your butt away from here. You are making this way too hard, girl. And so you can just imagine doing this twice a day, multiple goats, how much milk you get. Hence why I need to make some yogurt or cheese. How do you know when you're done? The udder is going to get really flabby. So you're going to see when we're done, there's going to be no milk left. She goes from being full and plump of milk to like flabby. You'll see. We're going to get there very soon. We're probably over halfway there. This whole process kind of, you know, especially when you don't have a phone in your face, takes like 5 minutes, 7 minutes tops. Matthew says, disgusting. It's not really disgusting, man. If you've ever drinking milk, then, you know, this is the process. This is how you get milk. This is just goat's milk instead of cow's milk. And Gabby says it is 2:50 a.m. and I'm going to sleep. Goodbye. Good night. Good night, Gabby. And Derico says, that looks thick. Like I said, her milk specifically is like 5% cream. 5 to 7% cream. So this is like coffee creamer. David says, you must be rich. You know, I do okay, but I'm very rich in life experience. That is for dang sure. Not only do we got all the animals, all the property, we got the lake. You know, I got 5 healthy children. I've got a beautiful wife. I am rich in more ways than one. We're actually almost done her. So you can see this is starting to get flabby. Apparently I'm better at milking one side than the other because this side's finishing first. But this side's basically done. So that's kind of, that you know when it's done because there's no milk in there. And this side we just got to catch up a little bit, but also almost done. And so, yeah, this is the process. It's not too hard, not too complicated. She's just sitting here having a treat, so she's happy. We're doing this a little earlier in the night, so the mosquitoes haven't really come out. A couple flies, but otherwise, she's happy. She's just getting a treat, man. And she's getting all this relief because now she's not under all this pressure. And Peter says, just another mean Mr. Green Jeans from Captain Kangaroo. Rich in happiness and love, as Dolly Parton says. And stop it! It's a male! Now, the female has 2. The male only has 1. That's how you know the difference. One versus 2. Okay, she's basically done. We're capped out here. So what we're gonna do, she's done. She's done. We're good. The goat is done. So we're gonna actually transfer this just into this glass jar. Because we don't, Faye is trouble. So we are just going to transfer this over. Just going to give it a little pour here. Transfer it over, fill a whole liter jug here. And we will cap that off, close the lid. And then we'll set that aside and we'll do the other goat. So that can sit there for a second while we go and get ready for the other goat. So we're just going to unlock the headlock. And we'll pull away the treats. Okay, good job, girl. Come on over. Here, you're gonna want to come over. You can get out. Come on, girl. Come on. You're coming with me. Come on. Come on down. Come on. Come on. Girl, do you need motivation? You know how to jump. Yep. Come on. Come on, Mimi. See, why are you acting like you can't jump? And then we're just gonna walk over here. Peter says, Justin, you have been blessed. Thank you. And good job, goat. And do you have to do anything before you drink it? I run it through some cheesecloth to filter it. Give you guys a little bit here. Mimi, come on, Mimi. Come on in. Come on in. I want you in so I can take, hey, over here, guys. Come on. Come on, I want everyone in so I can take Faye out. Come on, guys. Come on. What you guys doing? Guys, come on. Come on, Mimi. Come on, Noe. Mimi, come on. Come on, guys. If I walk away, they'll follow me. Come on, guys. Come on, everyone. Come on, Evie. Come on, Mimi. Hi, Gabby. I already dumped some over there, girl. Okay. I think everyone except for Evie's in, and we want to take Faye out. Okay, Faye. Gabby, you stay. There's a bunch over here on the ground, guys. And Evie's smart. Evie knows she doesn't want to come back in. Guys, y'all making this way harder than it needs to be. Why is everyone coming out of the fence? Okay, everyone, come on. We gotta restart here. We failed. We let everyone out. We only want her out. She's the only one we actually want out right now. Okay, Faye, I need to get some more grain for you because I just dumped it all for the cow and everyone. So let's go get some fresh grain from over here. Are they Nubian goats? Beautiful. You know your goats. That is a Nubian. This is an Alpine Toggenburg. So this is a full-size Toggenburg. But we need to get her some grain because we're going to milk her. And yeah, we don't feel like fighting with her. Oh boy, oh boy. You're knocking the phone over. Okay, guys. Come on. This is her baby. That's Elsa. But Elsa, I don't want you out here, Elsa. Elsa, you're making life hard. Faye, come on, Faye. They know their names, so it's really cute. It's really easy to control them. Come on, girl. Come on. It's your turn. Now, Faye is difficult to milk. I've only been doing her for about a week, and I'm not as good as my wife. So we're gonna see how this goes. But come on, up on the table. Up. Come on. Come on. Come on up. All the way. Good girl. And put your head right in there. And let's close this up. And just like that. Now, we're going to leave you here with a treat, but you are... Oh, man. Why? Evie, I got to go wash my pail now. Evie, we're going to leave Faye here because Faye's not going to cause trouble, but Evie, you got to go. Evie, you got to go. You're going to cause trouble for me. So you got to come. Come on. Elsa's fine because Elsa's her baby. Oh, sorry guys. This is the hardest part. And trying to hold the phone while doing all this is tricky. So let's try to stand this up so I don't drop the phone. And let's open the door. Okay. Come on, Evie. You're in. You're in. Now I gotta go wash the pail. I gotta wash the pail again because she knocked it over. Meanwhile, I've got a goat in a guillotine, but she knocked treats over, so now she wants out. Life is not going according to plan. Okay, you. Let's try to scoop that back up. Okay, can you get it there? Okay, you just sit there. You just sit pretty for a second. I gotta wash your bowl because Evie caused trouble and knocked it over. Oh, guys, this is the goat ownership experience. They are adorable, they are sweet, they are cute, they are a lot of fun, but dang are they trouble. They are hard to deal with sometimes. You know, there's a reason that the devil is represented by a goat, because they be demons. I feel like, no, you didn't knock your pail over, you're good. Okay, let's get this washed so we can get back out there while she's in the trap before she breaks something. Okay, we gotta wash this. So sorry guys, I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat while I'm trying to rush here, but I cannot have a dirty pail because that is how you get sick, and we are not gonna get sick. So we gotta wash this impromptu. Do a little soap. Okay, let's clean this all up. That was some trouble, guys. You guys see my goats? You see what I had to deal with? It was all Evie's fault, my little puppy goat. She wanted to be in with the crowd. Also, you know, that's the rules of live streaming, guys. If it can go wrong, it will. If you're doing it by yourself, everything will go smooth. You want to show other people? You're going to get into every little piece of trouble you can. Okay. We are good. We're good. We're clean again. We are all soapy and clean. Okay, let's get back to the grind here, guys. Justin, Noah's Ark has 2 of almost every kind. And Jesse says, don't blame the goat. It was you. You're the one who made the goat kick over the bowl. I don't know if I did, man. She jumped up on the table. She followed Faye for the treats. I probably shouldn't have started the process without locking her back in the fenced area, but just wait, Faye. Just wait. Hold your horses. You knocked your pail over again. And so now you're antsy because you knocked the pail over. I gave you an unlimited buffet, all you can eat grain. Hey, 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 hey. And I got our baby here who's gonna cause me some trouble. Okay, let's set the bowl down. Let's give you this and okay. Oh, she's back. She's back. You got food again. You got treats. And you, Elsa, you are so in the way right now. You're in my chair. So see her udders, that is what we got to do. We got to milk this. So let's get this going while we still can. You out of the way. I don't think she's going to fight me too bad with her baby up here because, you know, it's hers. So we're going to, so first, guys, the first step, betadine, sterilized, it's iodine. She's going to kick at me because she's like, what are you doing to my udders? Dude. Okay. There we go. Got to make sure we get that nice and clean. Oh, she's a kicker. Now we don't need to wash that off. So now we're just going to take the soapy cloth, wash that off. Oh boy, you did it again, girl. Like, how are you expected to have some nice treats if you're just going to kick the freaking bowl over every time? You got to stop doing that, girl. Okay, don't knock it over. Oh, I don't know how my wife does this without me, man. She is so much better at this. Okay, those are not wieners. These are udders, and she is a feisty, kicky girl. So we got to wash my hand because I just touched a foot. Dude, stop knocking your bowl over. You are trouble. You are trouble incarnate. You want the food, and yet you kick it over. I'm going to try to put it a little higher for you. Don't knock it all over again, okay? Stick your head right in there, and don't knock it over this time. Okay. Oh, 100th time is the charm. You, get your body back over here. Okay. Okay, are we ready? Are you ready to do this thing? Why do you just slide over there? Get over here. Okay, you, once we start, we're not stopping. Keep my hands nice and clean because you're trouble. Ugh. Get over here, girl. Sorry, guys, a little harder to talk to you guys while we do this because she is just being trouble. Oh boy, and my phone doesn't want to stay up. Okay, there. Get over here. This is a process, guys. Sorry, I'll be able to talk better once I got her done. She's giving me the grief right now. But we have to milk her because if we don't, she's going to get too engorged. Oh, she is just, why are you so far over there, girl? I'm gonna sneak over this side. I never come over here, but you're gonna make me. Sometimes you just gotta improvise. It's like doing icing on a cake, guys. You just grab, pinch, squeeze. Oh, you made me spill some, but we didn't contaminate it. Get your foot down. Get your foot down. Why are you making this difficult? Keep your foot down. Keep your foot down. You're making me smell the milk. You're making me smell the milk. Can I go up behind you? This seems like a terrible idea, but I'm doing it. I feel like I'm less likely to get a foot in the milk if I do it behind her. This is not a normal way to do it, but it's working. I'm I'm not able to alternate udders very well this way, but whatever gets me the milk without getting her foot in it, I'll take it. Okay. Even if we just get like 80% of it, that'll be good enough. Her baby is still eating off of her at night, so not the end of the world as long as we take some of the pressure off. Hey. So guys, hi, how are you? This is me standing behind a goat milking her, and I can't read the chat right now because I'm on the wrong side of the goat and the wrong side of the camera, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do to survive. So this is just par for the course here. I will catch up with you guys in a second. I am so sorry. And I'm bad at rambling on while I'm focused on what I'm doing here. Did you guys see the difference though, for those of you who are around, for Mimi compared to Faye? Mimi is such an easy milker because we've been doing it for so long. Faye here is just trouble. I'm secretly thinking, so we got Faye. How long have we had you, Faye? 2 months now? Maybe 2.5 months? I'm thinking that the reason the farmer sold us Faye, there's always a reason to get rid of a goat and just choose a specific one. I'm thinking it's because she's not a very easy milker. I feel like we got sold her because she's a lovely goat, but I feel like she's a little more stubborn than your average goat when it comes to milk time. Okay, we're gonna get more until this bucket's full here. Considering we've spilt a bunch, we're doing okay. In fact, we might even finish her off. Yeah. Oh man, she's making me spill more. Okay guys, I think I'm about done. I could get more out of her, but that's plenty, and I think I'm done. Because she just keeps making me spill it by pulling it away. Okay, there we go. We got another pretty well full container out of her. And I don't want to risk losing it. And she's getting a little stompy with me. We're back! We're back. I am so sorry, but we're back. Okay, you. Come on. Come on. Come on, Faye. Come on. Anyone have any questions about that? That was an ordeal. That was an ordeal. What did I miss, guys? Someone catch me up on any key questions I missed while I was busy spilling milk everywhere. Oh. Faye, come here. Come here. I want to put you away for the night. I know you got lots of grain here, but come here. Come on, girl. We might just give her a second. Let's give her a second. She's not going anywhere, so let's give her a second to just clean that up. Oh, we'll set this bucket here where maybe she can't see it. Let's go get this milk inside while she's just cleaning up the stuff she spilt. Derico says, that was traumatizing. For you or for me? That was traumatizing for me. That was a journey. And Jill says, she's not a lemon goat. She's a good girl. That was quite the job. Did you see the difference, though, between Mimi, where we got this full jar easy, and Faye, where we had to sweat and work for it? That was quite the difference. And Lorianne Host says, where are you located? Great job. Thank you. We are in northern Canada. Welcome to northern Canada, my off-grid homestead. And here's a close-up of my face because it's hard to hold everything and to juggle you guys. So there's one more step I like to do. So we got our 2 jars here of milk. So I like to take my cheesecloth here and let's grab this one here that is already washed and clean because then I don't have to worry about it. Let's grab a jar. So I like to grab a clean jar, set it down in the sink here, and then I take the cheesecloth. And don't mind the messy sink. I'm home alone. My wife is an angel. She would shoot me if she saw how messy my sink was right now. let's make sure that this is clean. Our little funnel, soapy. Okay, let's clean that. And then what we do is we run the milk through the cheesecloth just in case there's any loose hairs or anything that might have got in there during that process. Albeit I think we did a pretty good job, but we still want to just run that through the cheesecloth, just like so. Oh boy. And we'll set that aside. And we'll raise that up. And then we'll do the same with the other jar of milk. So this can close. That's Faye. And so I have a very, my system, my organization system is very, very sophisticated. We come over to the fridge. We open the fridge. Very, very sophisticated. My Alpine Toggenburg milk goes on this side. Yoink. And the other milk goes on the other side. So look at all this milk, guys. Look at this. And we've got another jar to do here, but yeah. It's a full, we're going to pour that right into our daily drinking because I know it's fresh. And all the rest of this, tomorrow, we're planning to make either cheese or yogurt. So tomorrow we'll take the rest of this milk and we'll make it into cheese or yogurt. But we will just take Mimi's milk and add it to our drinking supply here. And so we are just going to do our best not to spill any. Take off the lid, open up, grab our small funnel, grab our cheesecloth here, and put it in with the small funnel. And we're going to try not to spill too much here because we are just roughing it here. But let's just take this off to open the lid. And just nice and carefully, we are just going to slowly pour that into there. Let it funnel out. Come on, let's just push that in farther so that we get a better filter here so we can get more in at once. There we go. There we go. And let's just give everything a little bit of a wipe down, but yes, there we go. There we go. So we are pretty good here. We're pretty good here. So we got our goat's milk going straight into the fridge. Just wipe everything down. Oh boy, put our lid on. And we are good. We're gonna just add our jar back to the fridge. Like I said, all the other milk I'll turn into cheese or yogurt tomorrow. I was thinking I was gonna make yogurt out of it, but now that I'm looking at the contents of my fridge, which is just milk and meat, I don't know if I can make yogurt. I might have to make cheese. So to make yogurt, you need a starter bacteria, which can just be other yogurt. But it looks like I don't have any right now. It looks like I'm out of yogurt. And so if that is the case, I'll dig deep, but if that is the case, then I have packets of basically starter bacteria for cheese. And so I can use my starter bacteria to make cheese. I also have some existing cheese, so I could also use that as my starter bacteria. So we give everything a rinse down here because we want everything staying clean and fresh. And we'll come in, when I'm not on live stream, I'll give everything a good soak and scrub. But yeah, so anyway, there y'all go. And now we gotta go get that goat back in the fence because she's still out and about causing mischief. So that is how you milk goats. It's a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of a fight, and a little bit of joy, a little bit of happy tears. Job well done. We call that a success. A little bit of a drink. Let's rinse out our milk cup from just before that goat. And let's just get some water. We're starving for some water. I'm sweating, guys, sweating. So Peter says, Justin, I know this sounds crazy, but do you have an indoor fireplace? And are you going to be building one for the winter months anytime soon? You want to see my fireplace? This is how I heat my house. It's all wood stove. I do have a backup propane burner, but this is the wood stove setup right there. Good old traditional wood stove. And Derico says, I've seen him burning wood in there. Yes, sir. And then I've got a fancy propane backup one over there. But because I live in the middle of nowhere, propane is so dang expensive that we got to burn wood. We got to burn wood. Plus, you know, there's nothing more satisfying than heating your house with wood. In fact, if you look, I got my wood supply started right there. So I got a bunch of wood already cut and split, getting ready for the winter already. When you live up here in North, yes, this is the well water. Drank some milk earlier, but had some well water. And like I was saying earlier, guys, with my back being blown out, I'm starting to move around pretty good, but my right leg is kind of dead from the knee down. So we got a bunch of medicine, a bunch of pills and stuff to try to help with that. But I see a surgeon on Monday. And so we'll get some answers as to what we need to do to fix my leg and fix my back. But let's go wrestle this goat out of here. I might look like I'm moving around pretty good, and that's just because I'm used to it, but I'm starting to feel it. We're probably going to, we're going to take it easy once we get this goat in. We're just going to hang out with the goats and animals for a while. We'll go hang out with the ducks. Once I get them back in, I got to stop moving. I got to take a break from moving. Gabapentin. Yes, I do have some gabapentin. Actually, not one of those bottles, but I do have gabapentin as well. That's kind of the nerve blocker they gave me to keep feeling in the top of my leg. It's a low dose. I'm taking a low dose, but enough so that I can keep walking. It's been a bugger of a week, guys. I think I'm on 10 days of not being able to feel the bottom half of my leg. That's a doozy. Okay. And I feel it more the more I get tired. Come on, guys. Hey. Come on, Faye. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Get up. Get up. Get up, you lazy girl. Come on. She's like, no, I'm good. I spilt a whole whack here. I don't want to go anywhere. She was doing that on purpose. She was spilling it so she knew she could save it for later. Clever girl. And don't worry, guys. This is all just the betadine. This stuff. It looks like blood. It looks gross, but it's not. Then I just take the water here and dump it on the table. Give it a quick little scrub. And we're back in business. There we go. Girl, don't eat that. Hey, Elsa, that's a piece of rope, man. Elsa, yeah, don't chew on that. How are you sleeping? Jill, thank you for asking. I'm sleeping okay. I wake up in the middle of the night, usually sore, but I've always been a good sleeper. So, you know, we wake up, we get some rest. Whew. And Darlene says, you're a rock star doing all you do when you're not feeling good. Thank you. And Mark says, can I marry your daughter? Bruh, I have 5 sons. I have 5 sons. No daughters, only boys. And Matthew says, I can take up to 4 times a day, 600 milligrams of gabapentin plus all the other medication I have to take. Yeah, I think right now I'm on a dose of 500 milligrams 4 times a day as needed. I only take it usually before bed or if I wake up in the middle of the night sore. I try not to take anything if I don't have to. And Peter says, when do you think you need to clean out the wood stove? Just a reminder if you haven't done it already. You know, I really should do it any day, but right now, because I can't feel my right leg, I can't get up on the roof. So After I talk to the surgeon and I have a plan, then I can look towards doing it. But absolutely have to do it before the winter. Just right now, it's not safe for me to get up on the roof. I don't even know if I can get up a ladder, let alone get up on the roof. And Mrs. Army says, are you guys considering getting some help? And at this point, no. My wife is a rock star. And my sons, they're helpful. Mark says, do you and your sons do dirt biking? I used to do a lot of dirt biking, trail riding and stuff. But my kids do have some dirt bikes. I get my son's riding out in that back field out there. I'll show you their dirt bikes in a second. Okay. Are you going to come, girl? You're just going to keep munching, aren't you? I'll let you enjoy for a little longer before I got to drag you over there. Let's take a little walk over here. Oh, let's spin you guys around. And what's the CC? I have a 110 cc for my 8-year-old and a 50 cc for my 6-year-old. Right here. And there. A Yamaha and a Kawasaki. There you go. True story. And how many acres of land? It's 156 acres, but it's a peninsula. So we got the lake. The lake goes all the way around. And so basically my property starts way up there, comes all the way across to the other side, all the way over. There's a lake on the far side. The lake comes all the way around and back. So all this 156 acres. Faye, are you ready? You got up. Come on, Elsa. Come on, Faye. Come. You're probably so full right now. I'm gonna guide you with your collar, okay? Come on, girl. They walk very nice. When you have a collar on them, you don't have to pull on it. You just put your hand there, and they walk really, really lovely. The problem is if you grab them by the horns, their instinct is to pull back and fight you. And so we put collars on all the goats, and that way it's not a fight. And then I just come in here, dump a little bit. The chickens and the goats and all that are gonna love that. And voila, we got them back. And so now we can close this up. Let's put the pail away. They're all coming running back. And we're just gonna hang out for a bit, guys. We'll answer any questions. We'll have a really, all right, let's just set this down. Okay. I'll let you guys just hang out with the goats here while we just chat for a little bit. So Matthew says he's on 2 muscle relaxants. Jill says a lot of smoke today. Not that much. We had some tornado warnings, and so I'm cleaning the screen. We had some tornado warnings today, and so a lot of the smoke blew away. You can see a little bit of stuff. That's probably, I don't know if that's smoke. Probably looks like smoke, but we got some sky back there. It's not too smoky today. Days here where the visibility is really low, and it's really hard to breathe, and the sun is just red, just a red. But not too bad today. Not too bad today. The wind is blowing in the right direction. And Mark said, you bought the land with the house built already or just renovating? So it had the house and the garage, except the back half is an add-on. So we added that on and closed that in. That was just a porch. So we screened that in, or we walled that in. And then built up the barn here. Still kind of a work in progress. I got to side it and make it pretty. But built up the barn, the hutches, sheds and outbuildings. Ton of building. The people who had this property before me were Americans. We were up here in Northern Canada. And this was just their like summer getaway. So we had to rip out all the water lines because it was only seasonal. So we got to go really deep for the winter here. So we had to rip up the water lines, the well casing, redo it all, redo some of the electrical, all of the plumbing, gutted the whole house, redid the whole house, insulated it, made everything kosher. It's been a lot of work. And Lorianne says, Matthew, what ones may I ask? He's saying he was on the opiates and muscle relaxants and Tylenol. Matthew, is it because of your back as well? I feel like I know this. It's because you've also got a blown out lower back, eh? And Taz says, you need to sit, poor guy. I'm just leaning against the fence now. We're good, Taz. Thank you. Just a Dude says, tornado in Canada? I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, we usually don't, we don't get like the twisters like you see in the States, but we do get those giant gusts of wind. We get tornado watches all the time. They blow down a ton of trees. Usually it's never so bad because the forest absorbs a lot of that impact. It's not usually like blow your house down kind of thing, They did not, the other week we had one and it blew my solar panels over. Thankfully didn't break them, but that was a bugger. And Mrs. Army says, have you lived in Canada your entire life? Yes, I have. I've lived in cities and towns and now in the middle of nowhere, but we move around a little bit. Otherwise, this is now my forever property. I ain't going anywhere. I'm never leaving. This is my forever property. Matthew says 14 different medications, the morning, but multiple pills of the same one. Yeah, I feel bad for you, Matthew. It's always tough dealing with chronic pain. And Mark says, where you can find the land to buy, is it online shopping or some broker that helps you find a good deal? Honestly, I used realtor.ca. So in Canada, there's a website that shows all of the MLS, all of the listed listings. And this property came up. It was about an hour away from where I was living. And so when I saw this one list, I half jokingly sent it to my wife because we had a very luxurious house in a city on a lake already, but we didn't have the land. And, you know, after COVID, like things got a little crazy. A lot more drug use in that city, and you had a lot more people on fentanyl walking around, and things just didn't feel as safe. And so I sent this property to my wife as half of a joke. And oh boy, guys. Oh boy. Oh boy. They're getting a little feisty with it. Orion, man, you don't have as hard of a head as her. Don't fight with the goat with the biggest horns. You don't even have horns, buddy. You're gonna hurt your head. Anyway, Robert says money on Oreo. That was actually Orion. That's the boy. Oreo is right there. That's Orion. That's her husband. But man, I put money on Faye. Faye's the full size. Although Orion will wrestle with the cow. So, you know, he might be the winner. He just can't cause as much damage. He's the Homer Simpson of boxing. He can just take a beating, but he can't dish it out. And goat disputes are adorable. Yeah, it doesn't get as crazy as like the cow. I always worry when the cow gets worked up. I get a little worried. Does the missus work? No, she does not. My wife, she used to be a registered nurse, but once we started having kids, she became a stay-at-home mom. And yeah, Mark says, what's the website again? Realtor.ca. Realtor, like a realtor, like a real estate agent. Realtor.ca. You go on realtor.ca, it allows you to filter listings. And so you can start filtering by acreage. And so then you can, you know, kind of set your listings if to all of Canada. You can set it by, you know, I only want to look at properties that are more than 20 acres. And then you could add other filters like on a lake or, you know, I don't know, all sorts of different things. Does it have a dwelling on it? Is it vacant land? And yeah, it's an easy way to kind of filter through housing options. And Jill says, wishes he could get milked to get treats. Poor Orion. We are not milking Orion, Jill. That is not happening. I'm not going to fall for that trap. If they only have one udder, it's a boy. Don't milk the boys. Mark says, is it there a DC for married couples for buying land? Is there a discount for married couples buying land? Not really. No, not up here in Canada. You can get deals for being a first-time home buyer. And so sometimes if like the husband's bought land before, but the wife hasn't, sometimes you could sneak things through that way. The ducks are enjoying their pond. I filled up their pools. So they're just having a little swim. The ducks are just being ducks. They're cute. And then the chickens are just kind of scattered all over the place. Just chickens everywhere. Chicken. 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 Chickens back there. Chickens over there. Ducks. And Orion. Lonely Orion, the only one left eating. Everyone else is like, yeah, I'm done with that. I want grass. Tomorrow, I'm going to rotate them into the far field. I just got to turn the electric fence back on. So I'll rotate them over there. That'll be tomorrow's job. Anyone else have any questions? It's a beautiful day, beautiful evening. Anyone want to talk about anything specific? Any questions, concerns, plans for the weekend? Anyone got anything fun going on? Anyone getting into any trouble? Mark says, you do light box sparring with your buddies back in the day? Not really. I did go to the gym lots, but not really sparring with the boys. I do have a speed bag that we need to set up. The problem is right now, I got a bum leg right now. My back threw out and my leg is kind of kapootered. So as much as I want to set my speed bag back up, I couldn't do it if I wanted to right now because I can barely stand. And goat fight UFC style. And Matthew says, seeing my son tomorrow. That'll be nice, Matthew. And Mrs. Army says, what time is it? It is 7:31 p.m. here. Lorianne says, have you heard of the Steinmetz family farm in Pennsylvania, USA? It's also a goat snuggling farm. It's owned by Justin and Lauren Steinmetz. My name is Justin as well. They have around 200 little goats and kids. Check them out. I will. I'm going to screenshot that right now. They're on YouTube, I assume? Boom. We screenshotted that. Thank you for that tip. I love what other people are doing. Mark says, do you play Fortnite? No, I used to be honest. When Fortnite first came out, as like a beta, I did play it a lot. I used to be really good at it, but that was years ago and my life has changed. I really don't play a lot of video games anymore because we're busy living life. We're enjoying the homestead. You know, my screen time right now is fully YouTube, hanging out with you guys. And Mark, zero build? Yeah, well, when I first started, it was like pre-Ninja Blevin days, Tyler Blevin. And so people were not good at building. Once people got good at building, back in the day, there were no modes. It was just Fortnite. And so, yeah, once people got good at building, I realized I was terrible. Before people were good at building, I got some wins. But you know, I don't got time to play anymore. Jill says, just a bunch of errands and chores around the house and hanging out with you guys. Robert says, have you ever tried fried green tomatoes? No, should I? Should I, Robert? I have some green tomatoes right now. Like, if you're talking green tomatoes as in they're not ripe yet, I have some tomatoes growing right now that are green. I absolutely could do that. Jill says, was it an old fish camp? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was just an American retreat. Like they were actually farmers down in, I think Idaho or something. And yeah, they would just come up here to do fishing and hang out, do some hunting in the fall. But when COVID happened, they were an older couple, the people who previously owned this property. They were an older couple. Look at this beautiful property. Like they had a perfect property here. But they were an older couple. I'll spin you guys around. And they, my hair is getting all frizzy now. Oh, Lily. Hi, Lily. They were an older, there's Lily. They were an older couple. And when COVID happened, they weren't allowed to cross the border. They weren't allowed to, Canada was really strict. And so they weren't allowed to come to the property for like 3 years. And so they just decided to sell it. They're like, you know, if we can't be there, we can't enjoy it. We're getting older. Let's just sell it. And so I was just fortunate enough that my wife was fantastic and was willing to take this on with me. And so, yeah, we bought it and it was a big job. We fully gutted that house. And you know, it hasn't been an easy 2 years. I've had a ton of surgeries. I've had like 5 surgeries. I'm looking at having a back surgery now. And so it's been busy. It's been busy. My wife had been living in a construction zone for a lot longer than she wanted. The house is pretty well done now. I got to finish the master bedroom, but the bathroom and everything's done. But it's been a challenging year and a half, 2 years. Oh, Lily, rolling around in the gravel, just being a dirty dog. What are you doing, Lil? What you doing, Lil? And Lorianne says, thank you, Justin. Think you'll really enjoy their channel. Their goats helped save me with my pain and depression. I'm glad they were able to make you feel better, and hopefully we can do the same. Peter says, don't overdo ibuprofen or Tylenol or anything like that. If you take too much, it can hurt your kidneys. My mom is a former nurse as well, and I think your wife would know that too, just so you know. Yeah, don't worry, man. I'm really good about not taking painkillers. Today, like before the stream started, so 144 minutes ago, I took 250 milligrams of gabapentin, and then some antibiotics. Yeah, I haven't taken any Tylenol or Advil. I feel like I have a healthy relationship with pain. I think pain is healthy. It teaches you not to overdo it. If you take too many painkillers sometimes, especially if you're going to be like me and stubborn, if you take too many painkillers so that you don't feel the pain, you tend to overdo it and you just cause way more damage. Hence why I'm probably in this situation, because I just don't know when to stop. But it's not because I'm not feeling things. It's just because I just get bored. I don't want to sit doing nothing. So I just keep busy. Lily, come here, Lil. Come say hi. Lily. Oh, good girl. Good girl, Lily. Sit. Hi, Lily. You're a good girl. And Peter says, Justin, how long have you been doing the YouTube stuff? I have had the channel for like 2.5 years, but we only really started going hard since like February. We started live streaming in February, and that's where we really hit our stride, was probably in May. Sit, sit. Stay. Come May, that's when we started, building these relationships with you guys and really just saw the channel take off and do well. Oh, Lily, top down. Why, don't jump on me. Sit. No, don't jump. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. Weston, welcome back. How you doing, buddy? And Matthew says, I know what dose I can take. Since 2009, I take 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol and 600 milligrams of Motrin daily, 2 times a day. But I'm well aware of what I can take. Yeah, and I mean, Matthew, if you're living in extreme pain and discomfort and inflammation and stuff, I mean, it's kind of like you got to pick your battles. Are you going to have some liver damage from taking all that? Maybe, but is it making you survive day to day so that you're not in agony? I mean, you got to pick your battles. Weston says, what is your favorite food? I mean, if I had to pick a favorite food, I'm going to be selfish here and say my now no longer alive grandma's either lasagna or pork cutlets. And just a part of that is because that was a staple in my childhood. She's no longer alive, so I can't have it anymore. And so that way my wife doesn't feel like she's competing, because like, how does she feel like she's competing with my no longer alive grandma? So it's a safe answer. Yeah, I mean, beyond that, you can't go wrong with a good steak. My wife makes fantastic stuffed shells. Let's go hang out with the goat since Lily abandoned me. My wife makes fantastic like cheese and meat stuffed shells. So you get the jumbo shells and stuff those. Oh, that is a delicious meal. Can't complain there. Pizza's good. You can't go wrong with pizza. I'm a thin crust guy though. Hi, ducks. Let's bring that calm energy to the duckies and the rooster. Rooster, don't pick on the ducks. Ducks, don't pick on the rooster. Holy man, which one is which? I thought the rooster was gonna be the meanie. The rooster's like, nah, bro, I'm out. I know when I'm outnumbered. He says, I know when I'm outnumbered. Weston says burger and fries. And yes, Lily did get into trouble. I've been having people drive me around right now because my leg is bummed out. And so it's a little too hard for me to drive. And so yesterday, the person who dropped me off at home, I had Lily on her leash. And the person started leaving down the driveway. I let Lily off the leash and she stayed around. I thought she was fine. I went inside to cook dinner. About 10 minutes later, someone came knocking on my door saying, hey, I think I have your dog on the highway. And like, I've got like a 3-kilometer driveway, like a mile-long driveway. My dog chased that vehicle down the driveway to the highway, and then she wasn't smart enough to come back. And so, yeah, she's a little bugger. She could have got hit by a car. And then like 3 days ago, she chased my wife when my wife went out of town. She chased her down the highway. And so I got a phone call from the vet clinic that someone dropped her off there. So I had to go get her from the vet. Jill says, we have a black German Shepherd named Lily. When you say your dog's name, my dog's ears perk up. Aw. It's a good name. It's a good name. I've had 3 dogs, and I've named them all after flowers: Lily, Daisy, and Clover. Daisy and Clover were German Shepherd Huskies. So they were a mix of German Shepherd and Husky. They were sisters. And Peter says, nice job on the channel. Keep it up. Thanks, Peter. I appreciate you. And thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. You guys coming out here and spending time with me is what this is all about. And that is how the channel continues to grow. By having a good core base of people like you guys, it just shows people this is a place to hang out. Weston says, can I meet your wife? Weston, you'll have to come back another stream. My wife is out of town until Sunday. So I'm home alone. I'm bacheloring it with the ducks and chickens. I am all alone. I mean, I have you guys and I have the animals, but I don't have my wife. And Weston says, chocolate cake? You gonna make me one? Peter says, Justin, ever made homemade ice cream before with the goat milk? Did it taste okay? You know what? I haven't. Lily, you followed me. Hi, Lily. Hi, Lily. Don't chase the ducks. Don't do it, Lily. The ducks. I think that hen thinks it's a duck. I haven't yet, but I want to, so I'm gonna have to check that out. And Mrs. Army says, did your wife leave you some pre-cooked meals before she left? No, she didn't. But that's okay. I have a whole, my goal, my plan, I pulled out a whole chicken. And so tomorrow morning, I'm going to start making goat cheese, probably. Goat cheese and a whole chicken. And then I'll just eat that all day tomorrow. Last night, I just made myself steak. I have some leftover steak for tonight. So when we're done the stream here, I'll eat supper. And yeah, I can survive. Barely, but I can survive. Weston says, can I visit the dog? She decided she's a goat. She went over to the goats. She's way down there. She's my goat dog right now. Yeah, my wife's a superstar. She's got the 5 boys. She's got all 5 of our kids with her. I'm home, holding down the fort here, but she's the rock star. Oh boy, that wind is picking up. Weston asks, do you like Halloween? Honestly, I'm not really a fan of Halloween. Halloween isn't like my favorite holiday. I mean, I don't eat a lot of sugar or junk food. It's a good way to get the kids all revved up. Obviously, we participate in it because I got kids and I'm not going to take that experience away from them. But, it's not my favorite time of year. It's not my favorite time of year. What about Christmas? Yeah, Christmas is a lot of fun. I mean, we are traditional Catholics. And so Christmas for us is a very busy time because we do, we got all the masses and family get-togethers and, we do the presents with the kids, and Christmas is always a good time. Jill says, I relish your live feeds and hate it when I miss them. Well, Jill, instead of relishing them, you're going to have to start pickling them. And Weston says, Santa. So I let my kids, so first off, I teach my kids about Saint Nicholas, the origins of, Santa Claus. But I let them know that, I don't know if we got any kids watching here. We're not going to get into it. But my kids have a very realistic expectation at Christmas. I don't want to say anything because there might be kids here. Matthew says, did you break the neck of the chicken with your hand to dispatch it? When we butcher ducks and chickens, I use a hatchet. I do use a hatchet. Robert says, watching all the animals feeding, cleaning. Yeah, the ducks, I don't want to disturb them because they kind of stay a little bit away from me. They're my wife's spirit animal. But for me, they get a little nervous around me. So I don't want to get too close to disturb them while they're enjoying a bath. But they're just hanging out in their kiddie pools while I filled them up for them. And so they're just hanging out. Thanksgiving. Yeah, we participate in Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's good. Instead of a turkey, we usually do homestead duck. So duck and rabbit. So instead of a turkey, because we don't raise any turkeys out here, we normally just do homesteaded ducks and rabbits for our Thanksgiving dinner. And so it's just, it's a good time. It's a fun time. Yeah. What else do we want to talk about, guys? TH Outdoors says, how do you butcher your rabbit? So the way I do it, I'll show you. Not going to show you me doing it, but what I do is, I just did a bunch, so I should have all the stuff kind of still hanging out here. Let's just walk over here. I don't see the stick I use, but basically, I have a stick, a wooden stick. I don't see it on the ground over here. I don't know where my wife put it, but basically, the way to butcher rabbits, take a stick thinner than this. You hold them by the back legs and you lower them to the ground. I usually put a treat down on the ground, so they're just enjoying the treat. You put like a broom handle behind their neck, and then you just step on it and pull in one quick motion, and that severs their spine internally, and they die immediately. So they might kick a little bit, just the reflexes, but you sever their spine internally. It's very quick, and then I come over here and I tie their legs. I got a couple hooks, and so I'll tie their legs along here, and that way I can just kind of sit in a chair, and yeah, the rest is pretty easy. You just skin them, gut them, and you've got your rabbit meat. I throw them then in some icy water, and then once I am done doing as many as I want to do that day, I put it in the fridge. I let it sit for about 2 days in the fridge. That allows the meat to loosen up, because when an animal dies, it wants to get what's called rigor mortis. It wants to stiffen up, all the muscles lock up. But if you just give it a couple days in the fridge, everything loosens up and it becomes super tender, and then I vacuum seal it. And so, yeah, that's kind of the detailed explanation on how I do that. Weston says, do you like eating chicken wings or do you like chicken nuggets? I mean, nothing wrong with a good old chicken nugget, but my wife and kids are gluten-free, and so usually we don't do breaded nuggets. So usually it's just, like I'm gonna cook a whole chicken, and so I'll just slow cook it and season it with some just generic seasoning, some herbs, spices, and yeah, I'll just eat that over the next couple of days, throw it on some bread, eat it with some eggs. Just gonna be eating chicken for like 3 days here. Oh, I'm gonna sit down again by the lake. The animals are all enjoying the field, so we're just gonna hang out a little bit over here. With the lake behind us. And can you tan me a rabbit hide? I do have a couple rabbit hides tanned, but the problem is when you're doing juvenile rabbits, so younger rabbits, their hide is too thin, so you can't make anything with it because it'll tear too easy. Like if you tried to make rabbit gloves, rabbit fur gloves out of a young rabbit, it's going to be too thin. It's just going to tear. The leather will not get hard enough. So that's more of a mature rabbit thing. So if you have an older rabbit that passes away, you can then tan that hide, and that's what I've done in the past. Like when I've had rabbits that are like 4 or 5 years old, if they pass away suddenly, then it's like, okay, we can harvest the hide at least. And Matthew says, I've seen people twisting the neck of the chicken to dispatch it. I've finished off grouse, like hunting. I've done it with them that way. But with the ducks and chickens, I just try to make it as quick and clean and painless as possible. So I find just the good old lob their head off with a hatchet is fast and painless. Peter says, do you dress your turkey and duck for Thanksgiving? My wife makes dressing. My wife is the chef de la what is the expression, guys? The French. Chef de la cuisine? Chef de la... My wife is the master chef. That's what I'm trying to say. My wife is the one who does most of the cooking, so I can't get into too much details on it. Weston says, can I meet your goat? Weston, we were just over with the goats, but I have a bad leg right now, so I got to sit for a bit. We got to just hang out and stare at my ugly mug for a little bit. I got to take a break. I'm dying here. I'm dying. Jill says, when I was a child, they sold rabbits' feet on keychains, dyed in different colors. I've never had any dyed, but as a kid, I definitely had rabbit feet on my keychain. Nowadays, I think people would frown upon that. It's not as, as we've kind of lost our roots, our traditional lifestyles. that kind of thing is just a little more frowned upon. Even me talking about butchering rabbits, people get a little uptight about. But that's, we homestead, we consume the animals. It is what it is. It's the purpose of them. We treat the breeders like pets, but their offspring are, for food. Rabbits are a fantastic source of protein. They're very tasty and they're very easy. And Matthew says, but they twitch for a moment anyway. Yeah, you're going to get some muscle spasms after you dispatch pretty well any animal. And Weston says, are you okay? I am, but basically my back threw out on me 10 days ago-ish. And it cut off feeling to my right leg. And so I'm taking some nerve blockers so I can use the upper half of my leg, but the lower half of my leg is still kind of dead. And so I see a surgeon on Monday. They're going to tell me what they want to do for surgery. And then I'll update you guys from there. But we might get laid up for a couple of weeks. We'll cross that road when we get there. If we get a little more bed rested for a couple of weeks, you might not see too many live streams during that period of time. We'll do more short form videos and long form videos, a little more tutorials, just stuff that I can get my wife to help me with, like showing you guys how to make yogurt and cheese, and doing stuff like that. And Weston says, do you want me to bring something? I'm good, my man. I'm good. I am good. I won't know what's going on until after Monday. Once Monday happens, then I will know if I need to heal up or not. And David, welcome back, David. I see you there. I see you there, you little booger eater. And Peter says, I think Justin's the kind, I think it's a Justin kind of time for s'mores. S'mores do sound fantastic. I do have some chocolate and I do have some marshmallows, but I don't know if I have any graham crackers. And Jill says, I hope you keep us in the loop. We care. Thank you, Jill. Robert says, best channel out there. Let's see some lake activities. I mean, we do have the lake back there. We definitely do got to get out on the boat at some point here. At some point here, we got to go for a cruise. We got to go down to the beach. The south side of my property is a beautiful sandy beach. The only problem is I got like no service down there. We're too far from the Starlink and the cell service is almost non-existent. So it's hard to take you guys to the beach. I've tried before, but it's hard. And Mrs. Army says, have you already had an MRI? Yes. Right when I lost feeling to that leg, I had an emergency MRI. I had to drive, a good 5 or 6 hours to the closest hospital that had an MRI. And then, they saw the MRI and said, yeah, your back's messed up. We need surgery, but we haven't elaborated. I don't know what surgery I need until Monday. My guess is probably going to have to fuse the vertebrae, my L4, L5, but I'll know more on Monday. Weston says, do you like movies? Can we watch movies tonight? Weston, are you on your way here? I don't even have a laptop with me. So we don't watch movies in the winter. In the winter, we'll watch a little more TV. But we don't watch much. Do you like books? I do. I'm more of a fantasy book guy. The one that I'm doing the audiobooks to right now is The Lies of Loch Lamora. The Lies of Loch Lamora. That might be the book title. It's the Grimtail Bastards, I believe is the book series. I've done the first 2 books there. I did all of the Wheel of Time. It took me a long time to read. Those ones I read. It took me a long time to get through those. My favorite book series, which is incomplete thanks to Patrick Rothfuss, is the Kingkiller Chronicles. It's a fantastically well-written series. Unfortunately, it's supposed to be a trilogy, and book 1 and 2 are released, and there's a couple novellas, but the trilogy part, he's kind of had some writer's block for a good 15 years. So boo to Patrick Rothfuss on that one. Just keeping everyone hanging. Peter says, what do you do for Easter? Well, we're very involved with the church. And so on Easter, it's a lot of masses, going to church for Easter, Good Friday, Easter Sunday, Easter Monday. And then usually we will participate in the local community. Like last year, I volunteered and helped do the egg hunt. And so we did all the chocolate eggs. So I helped organize and, my wife threw me into it, but we hid all the eggs and she ran some of the activities and just helped put on some stuff for the the children in the community, including my own kids. And Jesse says, where is this? We are in northern Canada. And do you chocolate cookie? Do I eat chocolate cookies? Not a fan of chocolate chip cookies, but white macadamia nut, that's my go-to. Well, guys, this conversation has been fantastic, but I'm feeling it. I think I am ready for bed. It's only 7:55, but I still got to put the chickens away, the ducks away, and then I got to go rest. So I appreciate you guys. You guys have been fantastic. Jesse, we are up towards Hudson's Bay in the far north in Ontario, in the middle of nowhere. My name is Justin, Justin, Justin. Jill says, get some rest, friend. Matthew says, Justin. Taz says, get well, sending prayers. Guys, take care of yourselves, and we'll be live sometime tomorrow. We might do a couple different ones. Normally, when I'm feeling good, I can last a few hours. But I'm thinking that tomorrow maybe I'm going to have a busy morning because I want to cook a whole chicken and I want to make a bunch of goat cheese. But I'm thinking that we will probably, once I get that rolling, we'll stream for a little bit in the morning. Maybe we'll take a boat ride. We'll see. And then, yeah, then maybe we'll do another live stream in the evening. So I will catch you guys later. We're going to wrap this one up. Thank you. I won't forget that I got rhubarb in the fridge. We will see if we can work that into the yogurt or cheese. I might have to wait on yogurt. I don't know if I have any yogurt, and I need yogurt to make more yogurt. You need the bacteria from existing yogurt to make more yogurt. So I might have to do cheese. And Peter says, we hope you get better. I hate that you're having these medical issues and you're not out of work now because of your medical situation. Are you? Hope not. I've still been working until I find out what's going on. We are in northern Canada, but we are wrapping this up. Take care, guys. Thank you all. I appreciate you all. And we will talk again in a while. See you tomorrow. Ciao.